この帽子をお前に預ける。いつかきっと返しに来い。立派な海賊になってな。
俺には助けてくれるな。仲間がいるんだ。よし行くか。俺の仲間をなめんなよ。行くぞ野郎ども。全面戦争だ。やるぞ。
歌でみんなを幸せにするの。
行くぞカムサリー。
Hello? Hello? Oh. I don't know why it's doing that. That is weird. Twice now it's done that. Filters. One of these bitches has filters. Where's it at? Oh! Wait a minute. Hello? Well, it definitely ain't this one. It's like it deleted the filters altogether. I don't know what the fuck. This one? It is this one. Hello? Hello, hello? Hey, there he goes. How the fuck did that happen? Somehow. Somehow the one, somehow that one got undone, but then it, that's weird. That's really fucking weird. I need to remove these. I'm gonna remove these. I don't know what the fuck these are for. I don't get that. That is really fucking crazy. Hold on. Is YouTube getting audio? I mean, is like the vertical stream getting audio? That's so weird. Get off my screen, thanks. Get off my goddamn screen. Which one of these bitches is vertical? It ain't that one. Determine that. It's not the top one. It's this one. Come on. Hello? Okay, that's got audio. Is it playing? Okay, it looks like it's fixed. I don't know what the fuck's going on, dude. That's so weird. Oh, this desktop. Alright, we good. I was saying I don't understand why they're trying to cash in on the Souls-like genre now. I've been playing Dynasty Warriors the Warriors. I don't know why they're trying to cash in on the Warriors-like genre now, because Dynasty Warriors has been around for as long as I can remember. I used to go to my cousin's house and play that shit with him all the time, and he was a huge fan of it. I hope this is a game. Whoa, what the heck? Oh, is this like the Matrix? Another Matrix? What is this? Oh! Yeah, you asked me how my weekend was. I went and played video. I went and did 2 games. Jesus Christ. I made 2 videos and 2 shorts. over the last 2 days. They did fairly well. I'm very happy with how things are turning out. They were all about Charlie Kirk. I'm not a big fan of getting a little bit of internet clout over something so diabolical, but I'll take whatever I can to get like a foothold. You know, it just kind of is what it is. You know that piece of scum isn't cooperating with the FBI or the governor or whoever's trying to interrogate him. That's why I said that they need to charge him with terrorism, because if they charge him with terrorism, they can interrogate him, like interrogate him, and try to find out if he was part of any kind of terrorist organization or something like that. You know, you can't be lenient with these people, man. You can't. You cannot do it. You have to bring down the hammer. But other than that, I've been playing Borderlands 4, bro, and I don't know what it is about the new game. It's so reasonable compared to Borderlands 3. I did the first Vault Guardian. It was like, I don't even know what his name was. It was something crazy. That was a little frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. But I still feel like if I was stronger, like if my character was stronger, I feel like I could have done it easier, for sure. But I was still able to do it. So it feels hard, but fair. But I'm also playing in the hardest difficulty, so it gives more loot. It gives better loot when you play in hard difficulty. That's creepy. Yo, low-key, this game looks kind of good. This game just came out. This is a game. I watched XQC play this game. It actually looks really good. I wouldn't buy it now because I already seen the thing of it. But this game looks really good. It's like a live action game. Oh, it's Dark Rift, that's why.
Mason, 34, former surgeon at Westwood Hospital.
I'll bullet point this for you. I'm trapped in a time loop. That thing kills everyone. And every time it does, I wake up here and we go through this all over again.
So if we really are going to die, what do you suggest we do to avoid it?
We run like hell.
It's not that scary. It's okay. It's like watching a movie.
What else aren't you telling me?
Tell him, Vern, or I swear to God I'll kill you right now!
It had really good actors in it. I think that's what really kind of set it in motion for me.
There's still so much you don't know.
What did your people do to me? We need to run.
If you're watching this, God help you. We all have to pay for the things we've done.
Oh, damn, they did a review on Lego Voyagers. Now, go back! Oh, there it is. I want to see this. That is the reason why I've decided that I'm going to put this trailer up. I won't play this on stream, but I'll put this trailer up to give you an idea. I don't know what this trailer's about. I hate doing these ones. I hate doing Borderlands trailers because they always have copyright music up the ass in it, dude. Oh, that is a huge one. Yo, is that a toilet? No shot. Is that a toilet shooting at him? Where's that at? Yo, it's a fucking toilet. Yo! It's actually doing fairly well on Steam. I think its current player base hit like 200,000 concurrent players over the weekend. It's doing fairly well. And to be quite frank, as long as the rest of the game is like what it is, like in the past couple days that I've been playing it, that's a good thing. I don't like those grenades. There's a couple of critiques that I would like to give the game. I wish there were more vault skins like what they had in Borderlands 3. There were a lot of skins in Borderlands 3. Another thing is that I would like to see better inventory management systems. I think the system in Borderlands 3 was better. And number 4, having to go through different menus instead of having a quick pop-up menu for going into general things like your contracts versus your missions. Because, like, in order to go into your contracts, you have to go over to missions, and then the first thing it starts on, because like it's not a pull down tab. It's like you press R2 to go, or R1 to go over to missions in the menu, and then you have to press R2 to go through the mini. Like it's like a. It's not a drop down. It's like a second little window that is there, and then go over to your contracts. I would like to see that done better. And the weapon swap is bugged. I'll be sitting there pressing and holding triangle, and then like thumbing the stick down to go to a different weapon like multiple times, and it still won't go to that weapon. I'd like to see some like updates to those things. But other than that, it's like, you can't please them all, and I understand that, but I'd like to see some changes to some of the stuff, for sure. I find that going through the menus it's very tedious, and I don't like doing it. Like I get that feeling of dread whenever I try to open up the menus. That's great.
It's trash. Oh, there's some over there. Yes!
Why is her intro different from the boys? I noticed that with the two. Maybe it's weird. I've kind of noticed a little bit of wokeism in the game. I ain't gonna lie. I've noticed a little bit of wokeism, but as long as they keep their nose down and stay out of this Charlie Kirk business, we'll be alright. Look at all that loot! All of it's garbage, too. Inceptus was the one that I fought, I believe. I beat Inceptus? You about to buy this game?
No fighting on the premises.
Wait, what? He's in this game? That was a character from Borderlands 3.
No fight.
Yeah, that was from Borderlands 3. That's a character from Borderlands 3. That's one of the 4 playable characters.
Fighting on the premises.
Sorry for the mess, y'all. This round's on.
I took the chance and I got the Super Deluxe Edition. That shit was like $150. I kind of don't regret it. I'm not gonna lie. With how much time I've already put into that game, I know I'm gonna put a lot more into it. So I think it's worth it. I also would love to say that I'm happy they got away from these mission-based arenas. That's kind of what it felt like. And went back to an open world scenario like Borderlands 1 and 2. I'm extremely, extremely happy they did that. I am so happy they did that. I was not a fan of using the ship to go on missions. I was not a fan of that at all. I'd imagine that's one of the biggest critiques they had. So they finally got rid of that. I think that the review for Borderlands, IGN's review, was very fair. And like I said, I like that guy, so if he said that it was decent, then I'll give it to him. He hasn't steered me wrong yet. This reminds me of Wolfenstein. I'm fairly certain this is a Wolfenstein-style game.
Some say gold and beer fuel his anger.
Is that a rat, dude? Throwing a rat at somebody.
He's not that tough. I bet I could.
Boom! The idea of throwing that rat is great. Damn! It's supposed to be
The hobo guy's coming, you sauerkraut.
I believe this is supposed to be a remake of something.
Scumbags.
The thing.
Play the full release of Darkenstein 3D on October 21st, or I'll kick your ass and eat your pie.
Damn! Yo, what a trailer.
Wide.
Oh my god, dude, this game!
Contains no in-game store, no MTX, no hidden fees. Side effects may include frustration, wrist pain, and or heart attacks. This product is totally safe.
Oh my god, dude, that's great and I love it. Jesus, that's funny, man. Yo, that's actually funny. What a great trailer.
The world's smartest IRL stream.
Hold on. We ain't there yet. Are we even to that? We're not even to that. What is this one? We're not to that. Alright, 2 more game trailers and then we're moving on up. I love the music. That is not how a lock works. Oh, what the heck? Whoa. Looks like it might be a good game. I don't think I put this on the thing, huh? Jesus. It's a theme park? Oh my god, it's a theme park. That's so funny. You know that all the original songs like this aren't copyright? They're over 100 years old. Jesus Christ. So it's a theme park where you cater to the Martian in. That's hilarious. Supposed to be Julius Caesar. Oh, got an escapee! That's funny. That's crazy, dude. Oh, that's creepy. I hate that. Absolutely not. Oh, that's awful, dude. What the fuck? That's creepy. I hate everything about that. No, sir. Alright. This game looks absolutely charming.
After a preview session where I was able to play the first half an hour of LEGO Voyagers, the mandatory two-player What If Hazelight Made a LEGO Game adventure.
So you have to play it two-player. That's kind of annoying.
From developer Lightbrick Studios and art house publisher Annapurna Interactive, I wrote, quote, LEGO Voyagers might already be my favorite LEGO game ever, end quote. Keyword, might. One less than ideal thing happened between my initial preview and my 14-year-old daughter and I completing the full version of LEGO Voyagers, where we tumbled, built, and played our way through to the end credits in same-screen co-op. It ended all too quickly. It left us disappointingly unfulfilled because it ended just as it seemed like it should be hitting its stride.
Really? Is it just really short? Oh no! That's really sad. I had really high hopes for this game, too.
You see, we rolled credits after just 3.5 hours.
That's it? Bro, there's no way!
Even less than the slim 5 hours the publisher told us to expect. I've never been one to knock a game just for being short, though. Heck.
Bro, like, and he played it with a 14-year-old? Like, dude, there's no way. How is it that short?
Inside is still
That's really depressing, actually. Why?
The greatest
it looks so good.
Game I've ever personally reviewed at IGN, and it, like LEGO Voyagers, is a dialogue-free adventure that ended in less than 4 hours. But while Inside left my jaw on the floor in astonishment at the incredible masterpiece I'd just experienced, LEGO...
I mean, I guess it makes sense if you've got, like, a good idea of what you want, but it can only really be expressed in 3 or 4 hours. That's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. The last thing you want to do is bloat it with garbo. Seriously. You don't want to bloat games that are good with garbo. That's what makes them good.
Voyagers left both my and my daughter.
And I get it. I get that he's upset that it's too short. But I feel like in order for the experience to be good, some games just have to be short.
Jaws on the floor for an entirely different reason. We both said, wait, that's it? To be fair, this is a $25 game, and not everything has to be a Silk Song. But it did leave us both wanting more in a, no really, we actually thought there'd be more than this kind of way. I'm getting that gripe out of the way up front to set expectations, because outside of the all too soon end of the campaign, I love almost everything else about
Why is that block
LEGO
bigger?
Voyagers. I'll start with the tone, which is quite different from Traveler's Tales' more whimsical licensed LEGO games and the slapstick with heart LEGO movies. Voyagers...
Bro, I had a friend in high school that absolutely swore by the Lego movie, and I went over to his house, and his dad swore by it too. Both really cool guys. I've got nothing wrong with them, obviously. They're great friends. I haven't talked to them in years, but we sat down and we watched it. It was me, my friend, and another friend that had came over, and his dad, and you know, the apartment owner's dad or whoever, right? So I watched the whole movie, and I didn't scoff once. And maybe it was because I just didn't get it at the time. I don't know. But I didn't really find it that funny, but they swore by it.
Instead, playfully curious, delightfully.
I'd have to rewatch it to understand,
right down
I'd
to
imagine.
who you play as and how you move. You and your co-op partner are just nameless, voiceless, one-by-one bricks. One red and one blue, both with a single mild...
Why is the blue one bigger?
...expressive eyeball attached to one side, and you simply roll your way around the
Like
LEGO
here, it's not
world
bigger.
with fairly believable physics bouncing you around the play spaces. And though it obviously makes no logical sense, you can jump by pressing A.
Dude, the way the blocks look, they look so realistic. Whoever animated this did a damn good job. This looks phenomenal. This looks like an actual Lego brick. The way the light is hitting it, how the smooth surfaces look whenever you look at a Lego brick. Whoever animated this knew their Lego bricks. I cannot stress that enough. This looks phenomenal.
On an Xbox controller, and snap yourself into any nearby peg with B. Pressing Y rotates your orientation by 90 degrees when you're in that B button snap mode. Actually, though, your avatars are not entirely voiceless. Your one-by-one bricks can make adorable little noises if you press the X button, which can occasionally be used to harmonize in certain spots, but is more likely to be intended to get your co-op partner's attention when playing online.
Oh.
On that note, kudos to Annapurna for following Hazelight's lead and offering a Friends Pass that allows you to play with a friend online using only one copy of Voyagers.
Hey!
Our adorable one-by-one bricks instantly make for likable protagonists in an almost Pixar-ish kind of way. I
Bro,
appreciate
if they made Lego sets out of this, some of the sceneries in this game, I would totally buy them. They look so good.
Little touches, like how the blue one starts with a beach bucket on its head. The music, which doesn't always play but makes an impact when it does, plays a big part in establishing Voyagers' playful vibe, too. It's mellow but varied, humming along in the background in a way that's additive rather than just being forgettable noise. Most, if not all of it, would go on your chill or yoga playlist and not anywhere else, but it totally works here. I also want to commend the authentic art direction and visual identity of Voyagers, which is decidedly less cartoony compared to the licensed LEGO game.
Yeah.
It goes for a sort of realism, with every piece in the diorama-like worlds looking like the shiny plastic its real-life counterpart is. Complete.
That was the first thing that drew me to this game. Whenever I saw trailers for it, I was like, oh my god, that looks so realistic. How the art design and the 3D graphic design of this is phenomenal.
The Lego word mark stamped into every brick. The soft daytime lighting baked into many scenes has a warmth and serenity to it that gives it a relaxing, mellow, and playfully curious tone, and the use of light and shadow helped draw me in immediately.
Three Ginger Kids, that's a creepy soundtrack.
These sets...
Is it really? You think it's creepy? Dude, chat all great day and positive vibes. Member of Smile to a Stranger can always be a good for both. Dude, you're awesome. Please stay around here. The Just Me channel. Please stay around. I need more of you in my life. Seriously. Going around now about interviews, talks about. Okay, yeah. Dude, you are so nice. You're awesome. I love that. I love that vibe that you bring in, bro.
Water
That's
flowing
awesome.
through them or surrounding them only adds to the believability of these being actually constructed Lego sets that you're observing from above as an omniscient participant. Furthering that easygoing atmosphere is the complete and total lack of any penalty.
I don't think I've sat down and played a single Lego game, but if I was gonna play one, it would be this. And it's just because of how realistic it looks,
death
honestly.
Whatsoever. When, not if, you tumble off the edge of a scene or miss a jump and
I'm
plunge
sure it
off
happens
the
a
side,
lot.
you'll instantly reappear right where you last were prior to your mistake.
See, I appreciate that. Don't waste my time with the death animation, dude. Like, I don't care. Like, for example, I actually get really frustrated in Borderlands 4 now. Because in Borderlands 2, whenever you die, you just, especially if you had a good desktop. Playing Borderlands 2 on my desktop, it's like, and I'm alive and it's great. Like, it's so good. Like, there's literally a second of loading and then I'm just alive and it's great. But like in Borderlands 4 now, when you die, you have to sit through the loading screen on a PlayStation 5, have mind you. Don't know what the hell it's loading. It's beyond me. And it's not really a loading screen. It's like the same like little wormhole light thing that you see. And then you get this animation where you're outside of the body, and then you slowly come back into the body, and it's like, dude, I don't need this animation. Just respawn me. Put me back on the field, coach. Come on.
It's completely
like, come on with this.
And encourages goofing off, so when you snap yourself onto your co-op partner and roll both of you off a ledge, or fling them off a bridge you're supposed to be holding down for them to cross, they can't even be too mad about it until the 5th or 6th time.
That's kind of like the best thing about this kind of game is the charm that it has, you know? You're supposed to, like, dick around and have fun with it.
Pull the same trick. There's never any direction given, but intuitively, we immediately understood that your goal in a game like this is to get from point A
Those
to
look like
point
some
B.
nasty old dirty bricks. Those are the kinds of ones that you don't put on anything. Because they got like the rounded, like smooth, curved top on them. They don't stick to anything. You know what I'm talking about whenever I bring those up. They don't have like the sharp edges like this one has. How it has the sharp round. This has that like smooth edge. Those are the ones that you just don't use because they don't stick to anything.
In the early part of the campaign, that's accomplished by simply picking up loose bricks from around the scene and working together to assemble them into makeshift bridges to cross gaps. In true Lego spirit, there's no single right way to build your path forward. You could build a super clean structure that a civil engineer would approve of, or cobble together a hodgepodge of pieces with no regard for aesthetics or efficiency, but which gets the job done nonetheless. We tended toward the latter and had a great time doing it. Side note, a photo mode would have been a nice addition as
they don't have photo mode?
Oh, you create and share it with your friends and family, but simple screenshots sufficed. The puzzles ramp up a bit as the campaign progresses, though as I mentioned, it felt like there's a lot more room for it to grow into that it leaves unexplored. A favorite scene of ours had us driving a big dump truck of sorts around an industrial yard where train tracks are made. The locomotive we rode in on had to stop due to a gap in the tracks, so we got out, hopped in the truck with one of us steering while the other effectively worked the pedals. We roamed around, collecting raw materials into the truck bed before taking them to the foundry to be forged into usable track pieces, then satisfyingly snapped the new track into place
That's so
and continued onwards. It's still simple, but with a few more steps involved than just assembling a bridge or stairway. We also had fun with a series of mini-games near the end of the story that I won't spoil here, except to note that they're particularly finicky physics-based challenges that might be quite tricky for younger gamers that are likely to be drawn to Voyagers and its E for Everyone ESRB rating. Fortunately, none of these tricky tasks are required in order to progress, but we did have fun earning the achievements that came along.
that's kind of standard. I don't know what kind of games you've been playing where like a side mission isn't harder than some of the main quests. I don't know what. That's kind of like an old way of thinking. You'd be surprised at how many games this day and age have harder side quests than they do main missions.
With completing them. Though puzzles make up the meat of the gameplay, there's also a bit of freedom to play around in many scenes. My daughter and I found ourselves racing to be the first to pop every flower we came across by rolling over it, and there are a ton of them throughout the entire campaign, even though there are no actual rewards for doing so.
I feel like there should be a counter. Should have like the option in the options menu to put a counter on it.
Fun little breaks you can take, such as by each hopping on a teeter-totter or sitting next to each other on a bench. They're absolutely not required, but they make for fun little pit stops along the golden path, and another idea that those of us who played Split Fiction earlier this year might recognize. If I were to levy one more complaint against LEGO Voyagers, it's that neither my daughter nor myself quite got what the meaning of the completely wordless story was supposed to be. In the opening moments, the one-by-one brick avatars watch a rocket launch go awry. They spend the next handful of hours trying to get to the rocket facility, and I suppose you'll see what happens. But if there was a moral to the tale here in the way you might expect from watching WALL-E or playing a game like Tunic, both of us missed it.
Here we go.
I would absolutely love to see the adventures of the one-by-one red and blue bricks continue, because LEGO Voyagers lays down a fantastic foundation that simply cries out for more. More story, more puzzles, and more time in this fantastically presented world. The building blocks here, are incredibly solid, and I'm confident there's more goodness to mine in this plastic brick well than the 3.5-hour campaign can deliver. As a result, its ideas never got complex enough to blow my mind with clever solutions in the way that the best and most memorable puzzle games do. Nevertheless, I wholeheartedly recommend a quick run through LEGO Voyagers with a friend, or better yet, your child if you happen to be a parent. It may be a tier below Hazelight's Split Fiction and It Takes Two when it comes to delightful mandatory co-op games, but it's still an excellent two-player time for gamers of almost any age.
I don't think I would have given it such a high score, giving it it's like, so short. It's such a short game. It's only like 4 hours. That's pretty good though. That's really good though. I can't hate on it that much. Let's see, who are we gonna watch first? We gotta cut these to like 10 minutes because, like, not that we're short on time or anything. So apparently YouTube has a big problem. I kind of started to talk about this morning. So like my channel was starting to do really, really good with all the content, the reaction stuff. Let me grab my phone. But then I noticed it must have been not last month, but the month before that, in August, that something had changed with like how they're promoting the short stuff as opposed to the video stuff. I don't know what that's about, but I do find it very odd. Because it doesn't have to do with, oh, we'll make better content. The thing is that the content that I was making was doing really well. And I'm not the only one who noticed this. I noticed that Bellular News talked about it as well. And I thought it was a me thing. I was like, it's got to be me. I'm just not doing it right or something. And no, it's something else. Something's going on.
Pattern of getting one night of sleep and then one all-nighter. So I alternate days where I sleep. I only sleep every other day. I'm
I
a
think that's what he's
goddamn
gonna talk
cryptid when
about.
it comes to sleep. And I know you're probably tired of hearing me yap about my insomnia. The reason I'm mentioning it now is because it's 6 a.m. I've obviously been up all night again. But the reason why I keep bringing it up is because it's kind of like Voldemort's name, where you gotta take away its power. So this is me calling out my insomnia, hoping that, you know, if enough time passes, I'll start.
I mean, if anything, especially this kind of like, and especially for content creation, if you're gonna like, if you have insomnia, you should look at that as a gift. Because, like, if you're not gonna go to sleep, you might as well get up and make some videos. You know what I'm saying?
To make some headway being able to sleep normally. Nothing to do with the topic, by the way. You've got eyes, and I assume you're. According to a bunch of YouTubers, there has been an abnormal drop in views on all of their channels.
I've noticed this as well. And I want to say I started noticing it from Asmongold, because I used to react to his stuff like every day. I'd react to like every freaking video, and I felt real bad for it. But like, now that he's not, you know, he's not doing anything because of his dad, I don't feel as bad. But I noticed it like about like 2-3 weeks before, whenever my stuff started dropping. I went to his stuff and I noticed that he was only getting like 500,000 views a video, and I was like, that's really weird, because usually his stuff would go to like 2 or 3 mil within the first couple days. And I was like, if it's happening to me, and that's why I went and checked, and I noticed, I was like, it's happening to him too. So what's going on? And then Bellular talked about it, and now Charlie's talking about it. So I'm like,
allegedly a site-wide decline in views, seemingly out of nowhere. And they've been doing a lot of exploring in the data, and they believe they've found the culprit. A YouTuber named Josh Strife Hayes just posted a video explaining all of it and showing all of the data, which is apparently corroborated by a ton of other channels experiencing very...
And YouTube's denying it, of course, but something is up.
Similar circumstances. And I'll go ahead and address the obvious explanation that people are absolutely going to be like Poindextering, pushing up their glasses. Well, actually, this is the reason. They fell off. Like, that's going to be what most people typically default to. Like, there's probably no YouTube issue. These channels are probably just falling off or posting some lackluster content that people aren't interested in. Or you could easily just point to the time of year that it is, you know, back to school and all that. And that's not like some kind of...
I thought maybe that's what it was too. But like, to be this far down, like,
outlandish hypothesis that'll have you, you know, thrown into a padded cell at Arkham Asylum. That is Judgment Day for YouTube channels, where the views just got fucking smited, and it seems like something changed on the...
No, like, whenever that guy copy struck my channel, dude, it fucked my channel into oblivion. And I really thought for the longest time after it, you know, I challenged it and it got taken off, I was like, why aren't my views going back up? Because I was doing so good. Like, some of the videos that I would publish would have like 1,000 views. They were giving me so many I was able to get monetized within a month. Like, the content was great. And then like, I had this, like, so I got struck with that. And then after that, I was like, oh man, this is never going to go back up. And then this is coming out now, and I'm like, maybe that's why, but I'm sure the strike had something to do with it. But then, like, this to boot is like, dude, it's a slap in the face. It really is.
That has now led to this net decrease in views for pretty much every channel on the platform.
It is. And I was like, oh man, it's just me, but it's everybody.
I want you to specifically look at your views from device type in August, specifically around the August 9th to 12th period, because that is the date range the desktop views specifically fall out of correlation with
they completely plummet. I don't understand why.
The device types and become consistently lower.
Yeah.
12,000 per day drop to 6,000 per day.
Which is insane. That's over half.
Days and then remain
half,
at that.
But like,
the other channels I've asked to check their analytics also corroborated this same drop. August 10th shows a substantial and sustained reduction in views from desktop source only, while not showing a correlation reduction from other device types.
But the mobile, but here's the kicker. If you go back, look at the mobile phone. That shot up. No, well, it's down by 2,000, but it hasn't really moved. The mobile phone is the shorts.
only, while not showing a correlation reduction from other device types.
This is why I said that explanation of, oh, it's just the time of year,
but it's
or
everybody.
They must have just been posting cringe on main or some shit, just doesn't really work here, because when you look at the analytics, the views stayed the same on device types, except for one.
It has to be YouTube. It has to be YouTube not advertising, not pushing the videos like that anymore.
Doesn't make any sense if the explanation is they're making bad views. We get something pretty fishy where it seems like they must have changed something on the back end when it comes to computer desktop views specifically. Computer views on post August 10th take a drastic decline, and they stay that way.
Yep.
They don't go
They
back
haven't gone back up at all.
into the same pattern, the same correlation that they previously were. Josh Strife Hayes showcases it with his channel, and exactly how he described.
Bellular did as well.
Very, very similar results to what he showcased. Let's take a peek under the hood here. I did exactly what Josh said. 90 days device type views.
There it is.
And everything follows the same correlation that it usually does. And then August 10th, the next day, bang, bingo, bango, bongo. The computer desktop views get banished to the Shadow Realm, and it's all cattywampus. It goes tits up. But I thought, I never really look at this in the first place. August 10th, and now all of a sudden everything's changed. It's a whole new ball game. I don't think that this is a natural thing that just happened where every single channel...
They did something on the back end.
Every single viewer
It's like they're pushing for shorts. I don't know why.
YouTube just decided to sell their computers and just watch YouTube exclusively on tablets or TVs. I'd be very surprised to hear about this mass exodus from PCs. Like, that has caused this. I don't think there's been an official word from YouTube on this at all. Like, maybe it goes deeper than this, and maybe it has to do with, like, how bad the platforms become with the inshitifying of, like, the recommended section. Maybe they're changing how they, like, even feed viewers videos in the first place. Though, if that was the case, then you would still see a reduction in views on all device types, not just a single one.
Yeah,
so
it's specifically computer.
To show this switch again. If your channel is focused on shorts, follow this specific video by video comparison to see the correlation switch for yourself. And I can use videos from both restricted mode and normal mode to show that...
Like, my videos used to do better than my shorts, and now my shorts are doing, like, 3 times better than my videos ever
Restricted
did.
mode probably has nothing to do with this.
I mean, to give you an idea, since I've started uploading back in like I've been uploading on and off for like since 2016, but like back in 2020, I had a short that went to 15,000 views, and it was just a ferret. It was just a video of a ferret just walking. And recently I have a video that went to 21,000 views that was about Charlie Kirk. It was a short. They were both shorts.
Video before this August 10th switch happens. And my next video, Was It Good? Neverwinter Nights, Hordes of the Underdark, released on August 21st. And that was the first video ever on my channel to have a higher view count from mobile devices than from desktop PCs.
That's crazy.
Here is the complete graph showing every video I have ever released on the channel. The blue line is desktop views. The green is mobile. Desktop views.
Yeah, you can see the shift right here at the end. Can you even see that? Let me see. Can you even see that? Yeah, you can see that. It goes from blue right here and then in a green.
Consistently higher than mobile views within correlation, except from August 10th onwards. If we look at the last 90 days again, you can see the desktop
investigation here. He has narrowed in on the date and also the culprit, which is desktop views. What changed? Did they change the way they calculate
YouTube
the
has
views,
continued to deny anything. I mean,
or did they change the way they even feed people videos on desktop? Maybe YouTube just happened on August 10th that it seems like every single channel is experiencing.
Yeah.
Josh Strife Hayes does make a mention that it doesn't seem to matter for shorts content, like short form content. That doesn't seem to, like, I imagine it probably will be. It seems very consistent for every channel on YouTube.
To give you an idea, it's cut most people's viewership on their videos in half. Like, if you were getting 1 million views, you're gonna get like 500,000, which is not detrimental when you're like, if you uploaded a video every day and you got like 10,000 views and you actually maintained 10,000 people to watch the video from start to finish, you're gonna get a lot of money off that video. You don't really need to worry about views like that. I'm sorry, you don't. But like for smaller channels like me, this could be like crippling, especially if your income is based on that. I haven't gotten to that point where my income is a necessity from YouTube, and I think it might be a long while, but still it's concerning that they could just tweak one knob on their end and then damn near ruin you, you know? Let's see. Let's pull this over. This is another one. Apparently Xbox staff leaked Microsoft's demands. This ought to be interesting. This has to do with that mass exodus layoff that they did recently.
Xbox is worth $23.46 billion a year to Microsoft, and that actually doesn't matter. So here's why it's kind of terrifying. Microsoft can make brutal cuts to their gaming division because it doesn't matter, not compared to where Microsoft wants to go. They can cut hundreds of developers, maybe thousands, and that's happened all in the last few years.
Yeah, they have. They've already cut, like, I think it was like 9,000 or something like that. It was crazy, or like, it was a lot. It was a lot of people.
The reason why? Microsoft is gargantuan. And those billions that Xbox makes, they're just 8.8% of Microsoft's total revenue. Xbox is just a line item in their budget. Staff are just numbers in a spreadsheet. That's how it is when your headcount is
I mean, that's what happens when you keep hiring people and hiring people and hiring people.
200,000 people. But that's all vibes. Do you know what's concrete? Leaked memos that we've read that suggest something worse. That staff need to use AI daily, literally daily, right? They need to do that to keep Microsoft happy. But here's the thing. It seems they're not willing to take this shit anymore, and they are arming themselves against Microsoft's influence. So if you want an Xbox, and that means not just the console, it means development teams, if you want them protected against Microsoft's influence, well, today, we're getting proof of why, and we've got proof of just how bad things can get. Spoiler warning, by the way, it's really goddamn grim. Now, I'll bet this has happened to you. You've got a dead phone battery, and then you're stuck waiting a software factory to an intelligence engine empowering every person. Wow.
That could explain the reason why Xbox dropped out of the console race, you know, is because their biggest competition was just trying to stay in business with Microsoft.
And in this, 3 business priorities emerged: security, quality, and AI transformation. Those are the things that matter to
It makes sense for Microsoft to want to use AI.
Microsoft. And if you want to know where Microsoft makes its money, well, here's the breakdown. 35% from server products, 31% from cloud, and together those are $186.21 billion last year. And do you know what's not mentioned once in this? Games, Xbox, the stuff that we care.
Well, especially with the new Game Pass, like, a lot of developers are probably getting really hosed because of Game Pass.
And look, it's not...
If anything, like, let's say you can sell the game for $70 and you get that money, but because of Xbox's Game Pass, you pay a yearly subscription of like $50 or however much it is, right? And you're out whatever money isn't covered in that yearly process of the $50 a month or whatever, or however much it is. So I could imagine that it's kind of like a straight up annihilation of Xbox, because they're going to get alienated by developers because they're not able to supply the demand of the amount of money needed after Game Pass is done. So they're hemorrhaging money to developers and studios because of the Game Pass not doing $70 a person that plays the game, you know?
Some anti-gamer agenda. Right?
Yeah, that's what it feels
Xbox
like.
Wins, Microsoft is actually happy, but it's just not what Microsoft cares about. It's not what they want to invest in. Not like, say, AI. And here's a question for the comments. How much do you think Microsoft can reinvest in AI from firing thousands and cancelling projects? We've actually got the number, and we'll get to that. But it all means one thing.
I mean, why would you want a room filled with people if you could have AI do the exact same thing but better.
Microsoft can hurt Xbox not out of malice, just out of apathy. When we clear out a forest, it's not because of a burning visceral hate. The entire day. They basically arrive like clockwork now. Diablo especially suffered before the acquisition. Crunch, high attrition rates, hostile working environments. But now, those staff want to fight back. And here's what staff in Diablo pointed out. That these unions don't stop layoffs entirely. Indeed, the first contracts...
Well, the thing is that unions are good for the workers and bad for the company. But when a company is so monopolized that it owns everything, it's going to do whatever it needs. It'll cut off the branch. Like, it'll cut... Like, if Microsoft has no unions in it, but then Xbox has unions in it, they're going to cut Xbox off like a limb. Like it's infected if they have to, because they don't want it. Big companies hate unions.
Ratified this summer, which is years essential. So often we see layoffs that are just done line item by line item, but it could turn out that one of the people caught up in that actually knows shit that other people in the organization don't know. Those people are actually essential, and I've first-hand personal experience of seeing a number of near misses in that regard with just Xbox stuff that I know. Now, the Diablo team has also talked about the cultural changes post-acquisition and the edges of their workspace, and we've talked about this on off because we now have proof of what happens without protections, and it comes in the form of a company called King. And it seems that King absolutely are the canary in the coal mine, that they are Microsoft's test case. That effectively what Microsoft is mandating for them is what they want for the rest of Xbox. We know that King has unions, but they're not company-wide like Diablo. And that means that Microsoft's impact can be quite a bit more brutal, because staff have less recourse to challenge them via formal means. Back in July, right after the latest layoff wave went public, King lost 200 developers. And MobileGamer.biz reported something kind of shocking, that internal teams at King got cut in half, and their replacements, they were AI tools. So that's lovely. And to add a cherry on
that's
top,
only going to get worse.
Teams had just built those tools. And they were essentially...
Yeah, I remember that.
100%. So that
they built the AI tools that took their jobs.
Designer, developer, even managers have to use it on a daily basis.
Yep.
And this is described as an imposition by Microsoft. And a separate source echoed this. Management now includes AI use in performance reviews and in reward schemes. You know that fun little axiom that whenever you set something as a target or a reward, it becomes functionally kind of useless? Oh dear, I have a feeling that that will create some perverse incentives. But when you tell people, use AI or else, what do you expect will happen? Especially because it's not like those people will be using it because...
And you know what's crazy is there's nothing that anybody could do about this. This was bound to happen once AI became to the point where it was so simple to use. It's going to be just like car manufacturers whenever robots took the automotive workers' jobs. It's going to be the exact same thing. I mean, think about it this way. Elon Musk was able to become the richest man in the world because he built an automotive company where his entire factory was ran by machines. And because of how much money he saved on labor, he is now the richest man in the world. He's got so much money, he's able to launch rockets and blow them up and still have enough wealth to fund an entire nation.
Genuinely interested. I use loads of little AI things here and there, but I drive that. I set my own rules, make my own standards. Nobody's forcing me, and I can use my own judgment as to what is or is not appropriate. Guess what? My dyslexic ass is useless at spelling, and some of the LLM things are pretty useful for a little bit of sanity checks. That's rather different from your boss saying, hey, we need a 100% adoption rate. It's actually going to be tied to your performance review and your bonuses and probably your future with the company, and you have no choice.
Which is even crazy because whenever you look at this, it's like, well, it's tied to your performance and your future at the company. What's it matter? You're going to get fired anyway. When they figure out that this is more financially friendly and more beneficial for the company, they're going to fire you anyway. It's not going to matter. You're walking a very finite line. You're gonna lose your job regardless. Because once they figure out that this works, you're done. That's it, you're good.
And for King, we can now add this to existing problems like a HR team whose role is, of course, to protect the company, not the staff. That's a common phrase, but it's also a quote in this case.
HR, a lot of people get that messed up. HR is not for you. It is for the company. It's to keep the company from getting sued. I don't know why, like, one of my friends who had just got fired kept going to HR for stuff, and I'm like, dude, you got to stop going to HR for like harassment and stuff, because you do realize that HR is there to protect the company. So if they find that you're the problem, they're going to fire you. Even if you're not the problem, if it would solve the problem with the least amount of hassle, they would still fire you.
And this has resulted in brutal point of the company. Otherwise, they wouldn't be sacrificing games for AI funding. Those are the layoffs that hit all of Microsoft, but we do know that Xbox got particularly hammered. And think about that number between closing or expanding Xbox, any dies.
I don't really
the
think...
Overwatch 2 development team and also the
I look
Diablo
forward to
development
watching
team,
Activision
they hear union and
bust, honestly. Unions can also cannibalize themselves, especially if they don't have enough money to continue going. Unions are a good and a bad thing as long as they're, you know, maintained at a certain degree. But check out Bellular News. Awesome guy. Awesome! Okay, let's keep going. So, let's see. Is it, this is not that one. This was a day ago, and this was 2 days ago. So let's watch this one first. So this is him talking about people getting reported and losing their jobs for advocating for violence online with the Charlie Kirk ordeal. Let's watch this.
Threats related to Charlie Kirk must be reported. I'm going to explain to you today from the perspective.
So when this video goes up, if he's got a link in his description, I'll put it down there so you can report people. I'm probably going to start. I've been reporting YouTube comments that say extremely negative things about this topic. Just be aware that you're on YouTube's view list. So I should have said it sooner, but it's not my responsibility to make sure that, you know, I don't go into someone's comments and advocate for death and violence.
Of a corporate attorney, how these things can and should and must be reported, and the effective steps to take to make sure that we see change here and see action in the light of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Of course,
whenever I report and it has to do with this topic, I report it under the act of terrorism, just so you're aware.
For our American attorney, and
so don't get down to my comments and think that you're just going to get off scot-free.
This legal mindset we teach you to be your own judge. Now, this is
not only do I make it to where you can no longer view this channel, I report you and then I immediately permaban you.
Fast facts version where we give the quickest in legal news.
You're not going to advocate for death and violence and cheer on a freaking psychopath in my comments. You can find somewhere else to go because this ain't it.
Want to see all of the discussion, you can look at my live video, small, whatever. This step is going to be very on my channel. So we're going to celebrating a murder, celebrating an assassination.
Asmongold, of course.
That's not okay.
Well, no, Asmongold wasn't celebrating it. He was calling these people out. These disgusting human beings.
Not okay to be doing this. And many people are doing this on main. They're doing this on accounts where they have their face out there. They're doing it on their LinkedIn profiles. They're doing it with it just openly celebrating on TikTok. All sorts of.
So many of these losers have lost their jobs. And you know what? Rip bozo. You get what you deserve. You want to sit here and advocate for death and violence, and you get your job taken away from you. You get what you deserve. You didn't deserve it anyway.
Platforms where they are celebrating about this, and they are joyous about this, and they are calling for more. They are calling for more people. They're saying, next, do Elon, next, do Trump, next, do this person. They're celebrating and pushing for more assassinations.
And you have to keep in mind that what if roles were reversed and this was like, instead of Charlie Kirk, what if it was, you know, Bernie Sanders or Biden or somebody else, you know, like, you can politically charge this all you want. What if it was a comedian? Come on.
This is unacceptable. This is not okay. And this is certainly not something that is acceptable for an employee. So people like Asmongold said, go.
Like, you can't. So, for example, I dated a teacher for like 5 years, a high school teacher. She couldn't have a picture of herself online or anywhere of her holding an alcoholic beverage. Period. She would have lost her job. So do you really think that, and a lot of teachers apparently have lost their jobs because of this. So if you really think that you could just get online and, as part of a school administration, and act this way and advocate for death and violence, that you're just going to be able to go to work on Monday and then, nothing like nothing ever happened? Well, that might not be the case.
The HR, report it to HR, because, hey, this is something that's been going on for a long time and it needs to be reported.
And if you work around somebody and you know the comment that they made online, you need to do what Aspen said. You need to report them to HR. Be like, yeah, this person said this, that I don't feel safe, and I'm going to, no, just no. You don't have to deal with it.
Asmongold was right, but he was also not incomplete. He didn't give the full answer, and he doesn't fully understand that that's not going to be enough in and of itself. You need to do more, and here's why. Let me explain to you guys. So first of all, as a disclaimer, I'm going to give you something to do. This is only to do if there's a credible evidence-based situation, and it is not to be applied just to blame other people without cause. We all know that in the past, people have pointed to other people, and because of their nationality, affiliations, politics, have said, hey, this person is naughty for no reason. I am not telling you to submit anything false other than what you believe is a credible threat to safety. I'm going to say that one more time. It needs to be a concern. It's a baseline political backgrounds. A lot of people are saying, hey, this is just a right-wing talking point. No. In fact, if you have a legitimate safety concern, I don't care whether the person is right, left, or center. And people who watch my channel know I am apolitical. I do not care. The law should apply equally to all.
Amen.
All believe that. If you believe in the legal system, if you believe in justice, the Constitution, this. Although there probably are people on the right, there's some people that might be celebrating as well. Once again, this can apply to everybody regardless of politics. So let's get into it. What is the key here? So the key and the problem is that we have legitimate threats. Now, some of you may not know this person, but this is Kit Noel. She's a cosplayer, and she, before Charlie Kirk, gave a bomb threat to a convention. And once again, there are people like anybody else who's in this stuff. And I took this one here. This is just an example. I saw so many today, but I wanted to give you guys
no rights were ever won without violence. That's
example of celebrating violence, saying, hey, we need violence. Violence is good. Remember, if this was something that was put out there by somebody on the right during COVID, they would have absolutely been investigated, probably fired, maybe arrested.
That's what I don't understand, is how they're able to say things like this on these social media sites. But, like, God forbid if you called somebody freaking fat or something stupid. It's so stupid how these sites are set up, man.
Right? This is something that you need to have looked at. People need to examine these people and say, are they okay in the head? Are they a safety concern?
I feel like if you make a post like this, you should be immediately investigated by the FBI.
If you are posting this, because there needs to be a serious investigation.
Yes.
If you are posting something like this, anything similar or worse, you need to be investigated. There needs to be a serious investigation here. Now, let's continue. What's the duty of the employer? The duty of the employer in America is corporations have a legal duty of care to ensure employees' safety and well-being. That is a fact. That is well established.
In most states, an employer can fire you with no reason. That's just a fact of life. I think there's like one state where that's not the case, but the solid majority of the 50 states, you can get fired for no reason whatsoever. You could just walk in and then you just don't have a job, period.
Case law. This is not controversial.
That's how some of these companies are able to get away with shutting down branches without telling their employees.
This is not something that I'm just making up. Every single attorney will tell you this. Every single that knows anything about corporate law. If they know anything about corporate law at all, they will tell you this. And of course, me, as a practicing corporate attorney, can say, hey, yes, no, this is absolutely something they have. If an employee is not safe, that is a problem. That is a problem. I knew a Karen who was a lovely woman. She was a nice woman. I feel bad for the Karens out there.
I don't.
Higher ups, because they don't want them to know. So genuinely, you might have CEOs and higher ups that would want to help and would be very. You can be retaliated against. And even if you're not fired, what are they going to do? They're going to ostracize you. They're going to shun you. They're going to make fun of you, make jokes about you, say, oh, this is that conservative person that's concerned about this, and just laugh at you. You guys, after you like the video, some of you may remember OSHA from COVID. Oh, yes. Let's talk about that.
What is making OSHA? A comeback,
so OSHA
is it?
Refers to the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1970, the OSHA Act. It is a federal law, a U.S. federal law applying to all states and territories that requires employers to provide a safe workplace free from recognized hazards, establishing legal protection for employees.
Of course, they're going to do the same thing.
The power is on the side of the corporation to provide that workplace. And hey, if you're going to say a death threat, a safety threat to others, saying, hey, look, I'm afraid, I'm legitimately scared that this person posting this online is going to come after me for my conservative beliefs, for my beliefs that maybe I believed in Charlie Kirk. I support Charlie.
Especially if they're your supervisors. I can't tell you how many times I've had to deal with workplaces where the supervisor was so freaking hostile that it made me not want to show up the next day. And I'm sure we've all dealt with that. Like, it either gets to a point where you step out of the position you're in and give it to somebody else because that's really what they want, or you end up quitting the job altogether.
Kirk, I'm openly supporting Charlie Kirk. Should complaints start coming in? Because there are legal penalties for non-compliance. Also, there's no cost of a lawsuit. Now, we're going to talk about the lawsuits a little bit more, but you could sue for having a not safe workplace, but that costs a lot of money. And most regular Americans are just struggling to make ends meet.
Yeah.
They are going to need to take action on. Even if they ultimately don't fire the person, at least they were investigated and at least they know it's an issue. And now they're going to pay attention to their online. Also, it can be paired with a boycott. Let me tell you why that's going to be important in just a second. That's because certain corporations, and by the way, I love this one of Burger, the parody, right? This is, of course, not based on any real. That said, the corporations are not all going to agree on this, right? They are not all going to agree on this.
Well, like, you have to also keep in mind that if you bring up something like this in a company where the person you're bringing it up to could also be for the advocacy of this death and violence, and then you could end up putting your own job on the line. But that would fall, I believe that falls under retaliation if you start getting even more like
some corporations will actually fight this because they are so captured ideologically, they will employees or take action or discipline them or at least investigate them seriously.
Usually if you try to move to the higher ups about a higher up, they will retaliate on you so much faster than they will remove this.
Guess what you can do? Your power as an employee always making a threat if they viewed that as credible, looking at the evidence.
But then you can sue the shit out of them for retaliation.
Again, you can look at these and compare. Above all, they love money, so hit them in the pocketbook. Guys, please, 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 please do me a favor and share this out because you need to act, right? Here's how you act. You file the OSHA complaint. You can file it online, www.osha.gov/workers/file-complaint. Go online, do it online, go by phone, 1-800-321-67.
Okay, so yeah, this is okay, interesting. So this is a way to get around trying to go within, because a lot of these companies, they're like, oh, we have, what is that, like it's where you could go to anybody higher up and talk to them. But usually that never works. That's more of a way for a company to get out of dealing with other big companies that really crack down and bring the federal law to their doorsteps. That's really what a lot of that is. When a company says that open door policy, it's like an open door policy. Those policies never work. I have been at so many jobs where I've dealt with so many people that have tried to fucking harass me. Those policies are completely scam. They're a scam. They're an absolute scam.
42. That spells OSHA, but not everybody has the phones with the letters anymore, so just use the numbers. Mail, fax, go in person at a local OSHA office.
I don't think I've ever used a phone that had the OSHA on.
Remember, you can keep your name confidential. Now, I will say this. If you are bold enough to sign your name, that actually typically is taken a little more seriously. But however, you can still submit it anonymously. And once again, I think if they get a flood of anonymous complaints, they are not going to be able to ignore this. OSHA is going to have to act on this, and they're going to have to look into these corporations. Guys, I've never had a video where I've wanted you guys to share this out more than this one. If you have somebody who works at a corporation in your family, they work somewhere, big corporation, share this video, link them, let them know about this, how to act, and make sure they take action right away. Remember, you can do this. It's very simple. It takes minimum time.
All right, well, there you go. Give me 1 second. Okay. Ooh.
Go out and take
This one. Okay, let's move on. Is this the same thing?
have reasonable. I just picked right there out safety, and this is all.
Oh. Oh. How's it going, Chris? Or Chase, sorry, Chase. Hope you're doing all right today, man. Let's see. What time is it? It's almost, but not quite. We got a couple things for Charlie. And then, yeah, we got some, got this stuff. Got these goodies. This is 10 minutes. All right, here we go. So apparently this penis head isn't wanting to cooperate. That was one of the reasons why I honestly said that they should charge him with a form of terrorism, because they would have been able to interrogate him differently than trying to sit here and you know, play the weird game that they normally like to do with these people. They could have gotten some real interrogation in.
Chilling new details about Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin and what he did immediately.
I mean, if he's going to go out and commit the crime, it's obvious he wouldn't want to cooperate with the authorities. I mean, if you wanted to cooperate with the authorities, he would have just turned himself in.
Following the shooting.
So it comes as officials revealed the suspect is refusing to cooperate with the authorities.
Big surprise.
Garrett Tenney joins us live outside of the Utah County Jail with more. Good morning, Garrett.
Good morning, y'all. We have learned that Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin is being held in a separate unit here at the Utah County Jail and is under special watch to make sure he doesn't hurt himself or others before his first court appearance tomorrow. And as you mentioned, the suspect is not cooperating with the investigation. But Utah Governor Spencer Cox says other people close to the suspect are cooperating.
He has not confessed to authorities. He is not cooperating. But all the people around him are cooperating, and I think that's very important. His roommate was indeed a boyfriend who is transitioning from male to female. He is cooperating with authorities as well.
Oh, there it is, huh?
Investigators are also trying to put together a.
That's what I was saying before. Is like, you got all these people gassing you up in your life, your friends and your families, or these weirdos that are online in these Discord chats that you've never met in real life, and then you meet them in real life, and you think that you're just your bestest, most goodest friend ever, and then you go out and do something like this, and they're going to be the first people that turn on you, because nobody. I mean, you could sit here and talk trash all you want all day, but there's a fine line between talking trash and then going out and actually harming people. And obviously this guy didn't know the difference. So.
Timeline for the suspect's radicalization, and officials say it appears to have happened over the last few years as the suspect was spending an increasing amount of time in the, quote, dark places of the internet. The New York Times reports that after the FBI released surveillance images of the suspect, an acquaintance tagged him in an online group chat, and the suspect allegedly replied that his doppelganger was trying to, quote, get me in trouble. And then when another person joked that they should turn him in for the reward, the suspect allegedly responded, only if I get a cut. We also have this new surveillance video obtained by TMZ showing the alleged assassin walking to UVU's campus the morning of the shooting. This was about 4 hours beforehand, wearing a maroon shirt and light-colored shorts, and that he later changed out of before returning to campus, and what they are learning so far. Back to y'all.
All right, Garrett, thanks so much. The one thing that comes to mind, too, is that you initially thought that maybe he was cooperating because they got information on his dad convinced him to go. We heard of that person speaking out, that he got radicalized. And then you have to look at possibly how they have made a statement that they're looking to widen the investigation and to probe whether pro-trans online groups and others connected with Robinson knew in advance about the plan to kill him. But the mindset of a guy, they could assassinate someone, we assume for the first time in his life, and go online.
I love how they can put this much time and effort into going online and stirring up a whole bunch of people. You know, if you spend that amount of time trying to rally together a party, not necessarily a Democratic Party member, but a candidate, and like speaking to your officials that are in your state, especially the Democratic officials, to try and get somebody that's going to fit more in line with what they want and their ideals. You instead of going out and gassing these people up to go out and commit death and murder, you'd be surprised at how much you could probably get changed in a state. If they only tried it, they might be amazed by the amount of what would come out of it.
And engage and be lighthearted and just mock the fact that he looks like the killer, even though he is. That mindset, I just can't understand.
Well, I know if you go on social media and you start watching some videos about Charlie Kirk and some of the past comments and some of his speeches, another one.
Yeah, again, this goes back to some people actually thinking that you have some sort of privacy when you do stuff online. You know you don't, right? Like if the FBI subpoenaed your records or like anything to do with your IP address from like Xfinity or AT&T or I don't know, Skylink or whatever that is, Starlink, you do realize they're required by law to give it, right? They have everything, all your information. If you use a incognito window, that still comes up. If you use a VPN in an incognito window, that still comes up. They'll just subpoena the information from the VPN company. They have to give the information. Your information is not private. If you go online and you do something like this, it's going to come back to you. That's why so many people are getting fired right now from their jobs, because like you're dumb. There is no privacy online.
Pop up, and another one will pop up. So I spent a lot of the weekend going through a lot of what he has said in the past. I think we've learned a lot more about him, even in death, than we did in life. And then we were all craving some sort of a spiritual component yesterday. And Sean and I went to church, or we watched church online, a church we love in South Carolina. And they honored Charlie Kirk. The pastor said, could everyone please kneel and let's say a prayer for Charlie. He also remembered the family of the girl who was slain on the train in North Carolina. Charlie Kirk, in his priest homily, masses are being offered across the country for the repose of his soul.
So that's important for two reasons. There's a couple of things that still need to be the assassin. Okay, so obviously there was a
They are trying to, I believe, I covered this over the weekend. Trump is trying to, supposedly, is trying to make a new law to charge for domestic terrorism. I think that's long overdue. A law to charge this kind of action as domestic terrorism is long overdue to happen. It should have happened sooner. Because once you charge somebody with domestic terrorism, like when you are charged with terrorism in general, you, in a sense, renounce your citizenship. Whenever they brought the Boston bombers in, they were able to interrogate them in ways that would violate, not necessarily violate, but would make it more like you brought in Osama and were trying to interrogate him. It made it easier, and you could use other sources of types of interrogations in order to get the information you need from them. And I think that's honestly what needs to happen. Like, this kind of person should end up in, if Guantanamo Bay was still open, he should be in Guantanamo Bay. He shouldn't be in a cell or a prison in the U.S. They should ship him off to an island where he can be with the other terrorists that got caught, you know?
Going on before, did he discuss any of his plans before? He felt comfortable.
That's the thing, is like, they always have some kind of discussion, because if you think for 1 second that somebody's going to go out and throw their life away like this on a whim for no reason without discussing with anybody that felt the same, it's not going to happen, especially not from somebody so young. It's just not going to happen.
Bragging that he looked like the assassin when he really was the assassin. So there had to be some type of conversation. We also know that relatives said that
somebody gassed him up enough to where he went out and did this crazy and like insane murder.
Vocal about
wasn't. They said that a couple of his coworkers said, yeah, he was very quiet. And in fact, one time we were having a conversation about politics, and most of us at work, at the electrician, where he was an electrician, he left in 2023, started talking about politics. He went into the laundry room and just sat there by himself, isolated. He couldn't handle the conservative talk. So, I mean, you begin to see that. They said the only other time he showed interest is when you talked about guns.
Well, we've all been wondering who's going to take over for Charlie Kirk for his show.
One of Charlie Kirk's business partners to share a praise report from TPUSA. The organization has received over 32,000 inquiries in the last 48 hours on how to start new chapters. To put that into perspective.
Yeah, apparently like there's like 6 or 7 new people that are going around to campuses and doing the exact same types of debate. They really thought that they were going to shut down this ideology by invoking fear after Kirk's death, and all they did was stroke the flame and threw gasoline on it and watched it burn even higher and heavier. Like, you don't get rid of this mentality by killing the person involved. You make it worse. I mean, you would think that just by reading history and watching history with the Twin Towers and with all the people that lost their lives in that, and the Boston bombings, the Boston Marathon bombings, let me say it the right way, and the people that lost their lives, and the kid that lost his life in that, and, you know, everything that happened with that, all the limbs that got lost. It just, you don't kill the American spirit by doing this nonsense. You just make it burn hotter. You make it fight harder, and it's just this is just a new style of terrorism, in my opinion. It's just a homebound terrorism that's here instead of from a foreign country.
Faith around the world, like
she used to be Miss Arizona, as I said last week, and she's normally.
Wait, is that
responsible for my husband's assassination?
Oh shoot!
That could be your way of.
Hold on. That's his wife. That's Kirk's
and
wife.
I was so impressed with this emotional. Here's a
responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism
and peace,
faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country.
Yep.
And this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it. It will become stronger, bolder, louder, and greater than ever.
That's right.
That knows Erica, she's a sweet person, and
man, oh man. And you know what's even sadder is, you know, the people that are saying that the First Amendment is, you know, like calling to violence is protected under the First Amendment. It's not. And you would know that if you read it. Just like if you had looked back in America's history and saw every time, like Pearl Harbor, every time America has gone through great death and destruction in a way that has to do with stuff very similar to this. It never, ever ends well for the other side. Ever. If you think that calling to violence has ever hurt the American spirit, then you don't know what it's like to be a true American. You don't know what you're talking about. Whenever I see these comments and they're like, oh, well, you know, who's the First Amendment supposed to protect? And it's like, you don't know. And I'm not going to sit here. This isn't a debate. See, he was the debater. I'm not. I don't debate with these clowns because you're never going to make them see reason. If they wanted to see reason, there's a lot of history that shows exactly what happens to these people that go out and advocate for violence and death. It doesn't go well for them, especially when it's politically charged. My advice to y'all is to quit posting these negative ass comments, get away from acts of violence and death, go to work, take your pills, and watch some Cocomelon, and get y'all's emotions under control. That's my advice to y'all, honestly. Because advocating for death and violence is going to get your job lost. It's going to put you in jail. The FBI is going to be investigating you. It's not worth the headache. Okay. So apparently we've got some morons that are vandalizing Kirk's grave. Because, you know, that's a thing that we have to worry about now. It's ever since they got rid of their ability to break down statues of Washington and Lincoln and stuff, you know, now they're just going to go and vandalize this poor man, his grave. They can't just leave him alone, right?
The memorial continues to grow outside of...
What in the hell is this audio, my guy? What is this? You guys make millions of dollars and you can't get a good mic? What is this audio?
Headquarters
Jesus.
In Phoenix, Arizona, but obviously...
Bro, it sounds like you talking in a butt crack. Like, what is that noise?
Concern over the temperature rising about political violence, and we're seeing some of that today. And this, a post on social media from Fox News saying, Justin, a man has been arrested after vandalizing the Charlie Kirk Memorial outside of TP
Bro,
USA.
Look at what he's doing. He's like kicking over the balloons and stuff. What a piece of crap.
Headquarters in Arizona.
Man, you gotta be a real piece of trash to go over and start, like, violating someone's memoriam. Like, what is wrong with you?
Identified as a 19-year-old Ryder Corral there. So we're also getting this video that I want to show you of some of this.
You know, it's kind of crazy they got all these young people doing this because they know that anybody with any sense, like somebody that's older with any sense of, you know, actual history and a life of experience knows that this is just stupid. Same thing with those people that go out and burn those flags, and then I get comments in the section that's like, they're like, oh, well, you know, veterans are burning those flags too, and I'm just like, did you actually serve or were you a mechanic? That's what I need to know. Like that's really what I need to know. Did you serve or were you a mechanic? Because there's a difference there. Oh, but there's a difference. If you go out and you've got bullets clapping off your fucking ass cheeks, you served. If you watched your friends, God forbid, I don't wish this. You know, you watch your friends unfortunately meet the fate of God, you served. If you sit in that base and they're bringing you blown up vehicles for you to repair, yeah, you served, but it ain't the same.
Because we've been diving into the latest with just some of this memorial growing, but this was the scene that was captured by Fox News a little bit earlier on. You can see people addressing this individual, potentially vandalizing what was going on there with this memorial.
That's crazy.
People stepping in, just average citizens, not necessarily law enforcement, but ultimately law enforcement did get involved as this suspect, identified as a 19-year-old, as a man, is arrested. So you can see police, Phoenix police, there on hand, putting this individual in handcuffs or zip ties just across the street, as so much has grown since Wednesday. And we saw the initial outpouring for Charlie Charlie Kirk, the conservative commentator there in Arizona, a group that he founded a dozen years ago, co-founded a dozen years ago. Obviously, you see this individual now being let off. Is the memorial balloons, flowers, flags showcased on hand, and that is concerned.
He's smiling too. You see him smiling?
The memorial
what an absolute
balloons,
idiot.
flowers, flags showcased on hand, and that is concerned potentially for next week. Any outside agitators, that is a kind of term that police, law enforcement have been using, but obviously concern in terms of that with the memorial.
They're gonna have to set up guards just to arrest people that decide to go over there and destroy the memory of Kirk, man. It's kind of crazy.
That's
the
going to be taking
memoriam,
place
sorry.
next week in Glendale, Arizona, a very large venue, the NFL stadium of the Arizona Cardinals. Again, a live picture right there at that venue, but we're seeing different memorials pop up. This was the scene of where that initial vandalism, the arrest took place earlier on today.
You really think you're going to stop that, dude? Look at all that. Yo, I don't think I've seen this many people turn out to something since, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson had these popping up all over the U.S. I haven't seen anything this big since Michael Jackson died. Honestly, this guy made a movement. Like, he made a statement.
Today it has quieted down a significant margin, but just the amount.
It just really sucks that his freedom of speech had to be violated, dude. It really sucks. It really does, man. It's just so disgusting. Let me see something. I wonder if there's any new topics about the subject before we move on. News. Assassination. Oh, wait a minute. This was an hour ago. Nurse suspended after reporting. Ooh, get wrecked. This was an hour ago.
He has not confessed to authorities. He is.
They don't need his confession.
But all the people around him are cooperating. We can confirm that his roommate was indeed a boy.
Before he makes his first court appearance tomorrow.
All right, FBI Director Kash Patel joins us now. I can't imagine,
first.
Mr. Director, how busy you've been, especially Charlie Kirk isn't just a impactful person, he's your friend. So I understand that. But having said that, people are looking to you to find out is how big this investigation is going to be. Can you tell us the latest?
Absolutely. It's so good. And what we did once I got there, along with the deputy on the ground, around 5 p.m. local on September 11th, was walk the entire.
What's crazy about this being the FBI, having them involved, it changes the entire. You won't get normal police officers interrogating you. You're gonna have like these scary, like, FBI people that are going to come in and they're going to know like different emotional tactics they can use to get these people to talk. So if the guy's not cracking under that, there's something more going on here.
Crime scene, including the suspect.
There's no like good cop, bad cop when it comes to the FBI interrogation. They're going to use like a lot of stuff.
Himself took. And what we learned was there was evidence, DNA evidence that could be collected.
Yeah, he was a big talker, man.
Including a screwdriver that was found on the rooftop. Also, we went over to the scene in the wood.
You do know, Chad, that the big screen's up. You're on like the vertical version. The big one's up as well.
Area where the firearm was discarded, and the firearm had a towel wrapped around it. It's important. I'll get back to suspect in custody.
So, Mr. Director, that is.
Laboratories in Maryland, and I believe they'll speak to that at a later date when their process is incomplete. But I just want to let you know the FBI handled the screwdriver and the towel found on the scene.
That is important clarification, Mr. Director. I want to get to the 20 members in that group chat. Have they been brought in from questioning? And the group chat that from our reporting that we're hearing is from after the assassination. Do you have the messages from before the assassination?
Well, let me take a step back and tell you what we were doing while we were there and how we were led to the suspect so that this all fits into the puzzle. By 12:39 p.m. local time, FBI assets were on scene securing the scene. We then launched at 10 a.m. the next day the first images of the suspect. Myself and the deputy arrived at 5 p.m. local time on September 11th. And then what we did was decided to have a press conference at 8 p.m. local, where we issued for the first time FBI obtained video footage that we seized from the security camera surveillance system and new images, enhanced images. I decided to release immediately to the public because we were working with the public and the media to find this killer. Shortly after that 8 p.m. release, at 10 p.m. local time, the suspect was in custody. Why? Because the father informed us, pursuant to an interview of him, that he looked at the video that we released that evening and the enhanced photos and identified the suspect. That's how fast the FBI was working to put out information.
That's what I had said, man. Like, there's no way this guy wasn't going to get caught. They did this so fast, especially with in this day and age where cameras are everywhere. They're everywhere, man. Doorbell cams, security cams, just people with phones everywhere with some of the most advanced 4K cameras in the world just on your phone. Like, come
real
on.
time. And for a comparative sake, the Boston bombing, the FBI didn't release images for 3 days. We know we didn't have 3 days.
See how often they're comparing this to the Boston. This is so much like the Boston bombing, because you have to realize that the people that did those bombs, they were Americans that were like, they were from a foreign country, but they came over. And I don't know if they were second generation, like if their parents had passed it on to them or something, but they were Americans. They were here. They weren't going to go anywhere.
Made an executive decision on an investigative and operational need, and it turned out to be the right move because the men and women of the FBI said that's what we should be doing.
Yeah, we knew when that video was released, we said it here on Fox and Friends, someone's going to recognize this person because someone...
To effectuate legal process, we have to go out there with search warrants so that if prosecutors want to later use this evidence, it's not tainted by being illegally obtained.
Yep.
We, the FBI, are running the investigation pointedly on the Discord communications of the suspect and other individuals he was speaking with. This is critical information that the FBI processed and got to prosecutors so they can lawfully use it in a court of law.
Yep.
In these last couple of years.
See, they don't need a confession. Because, I mean, the guy's obviously guilty. They've got video footage of him leaving. They've got him going down the stairs. Like, they have all the footage they need of this guy to prove that he was there and he did it. So they don't need him to talk, but it would be nice to know if this isn't some form of terrorist cell that is being activated. That honestly, like, that's really what they need the information of like, who gassed him up to the point where he actually went out and did this. Was there some, like outside figure, like what was going on? That's why they get all the evidence and they branch out from everyone in his inner circle, then his outer circle, then the branch just keeps getting bigger and bigger. They're going to know everything. Like I said, they're going to know everything about this guy once they get him in 24 hours, and they already do. And I'm sure there's a lot of stuff they haven't said for obvious reasons, but
he had a text message exchange, he the suspect, with another individual, in which he claimed that he had an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and he was going to do it because of his hatred for what Charlie stood for. Those are factually accurate investigatory findings by the FBI that we've handed over to the local authorities and the federal authorities to make their prosecutorial decisions. But I believe in this instance of such public importance, the public has a right to know. And I've told you I'm committed to transparency, and that's what I'm doing here today.
Why didn't that person that he was talking to, why didn't that person say something?
Our investigation is ongoing.
They need to get that person as well. They need to put him behind jail, put him in jail.
And we don't have an answer on that just yet.
But Mr. Director, you're right.
Supposedly, I guess what I'm hearing, unless I'm misunderstanding, so a person gassed him up and then put the gun there and was like, if you want your chance, here's your chance. And then he went and did it. And where's that person at? Well, who's that? Who's that person that actually lined this up for him?
Job is not to speak.
Because the gun wasn't his.
but you do have the BAU, the Behavior Analysis Unit, that are there. And my source...
Yeah, the Behavior Analysis Unit. Oh, yeah, they're checking his behavior all right.
It's people that are within the Bureau, in, outside, that used to be FBI,
or anywhere else that is going to say we are not looking at X or Y. We are looking at the facts, and that is why we are releasing the facts in record fashion. If you go back and look at historical cases like Luigi Mangione and the Boston bombing, how long did it take the Bureau to release information to the public? We're not doing that. Those two manhunts took 5 days, and they happened in downtown Major...
Yeah, they did crack down on this in 3 days. Like, you realize that they got this guy so quick? And they were so transparent with this. I gotta give them credit where credit's due. Like, they got this guy quick.
Metropolis is.
They did not jack around with this.
Suspect in 33 hours because we were transparent and open with the American public, and we're going to continue to do that. So anyone that thinks that the FBI is not on top of its game, and that me and the deputy and everybody in leadership in our Salt Lake City field office in Quantico is doing anything politically, I'm not having it. And if you've heard anything else about it, they are lying to you. We're on it.
That's why it's so important that you came on, and we're thrilled you are.
Yeah, and he came on to Fox to talk about it as well. Like, that's.
But we, the FBI, are investigating. As I said, our investigation is our partners, as we're doing in real time. The summarize basically saying, the suspect wrote a note saying, I have the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. That note was written before the shooting. Evidence of its existence, we now have learned, existed before the shooting, was in the location in the suspect and partner's home. But we have since learned that the note, even though it has been destroyed, we have found forensic evidence of the note, and we have confirmed what that note says because of...
God damn! Bro, he probably, like, burnt that shit and dipped it in some acid, and they was like, oh, look at this little particle here. Give us like 5 minutes. We'll put it back together. Oh, it said this. Bro destroyed the evidence and they were able to put it back together. Bro got cooked.
Of our aggressive...
Yeah, damn.
So, Mr. Director, I'm curious, and there has been some
Jesus.
criticism, so I appreciate you coming on our program and discussing it with our audience. Can you tell us what was happening on the ground? Apparently, according to sources, you weren't getting some information, you requested photos, and you were being stonewalled. Now, I think it's important to note, there's always some sort of tension between local cops on the ground and the feds. They want to handle their own investigation, but of course, with an investigation of this magnitude, you have to step in, you have the resources. But can you explain, was it the local field office, was it the state police? What was going on?
So the local authorities have been fantastic. Okay. The local sheriff, the state PD have been wonderful. And any investigation, as you hinted to, of this magnitude has so many people in it because I'd made the decision to surge so many resources. And to get the information up to me was of the utmost priority. So I worked...
quickly.
It's nice to see. I really hope he's not lying. It's nice to see a supervisor do what their practice what they're preaching, as it were.
Make it to you. Who did not...
led to you posting that
out there to find a director that has been more transparent and more willing.
Well, he's been pretty honest so far, so I'll take it. You know, I will take it. Yes, sir. Good stuff. Oh man, you know we got to cover. We got to cover the internet clown. This was 3 days ago. Here we go.
Streamer is back online posting more evidence against himself while he's still currently fighting for his freedom and his creative...
Is he really still posting stupid shit? Bro, come on, man. What are you doing?
Criminal trial. What is he thinking? Actually, at this point, it's probably safe to assume that he's not thinking.
I think he's just stupid. Honestly.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on.
Oh my god, dude. All he has to do is keep his foot out of his mouth and stay offline.
Sorry, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know.
How does this fool have a YouTube channel? How? How do they allow this thing to have a YouTube channel?
I don't know what's going on.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. My ringtone. I don't know what. don't know what's happening.
After 3 months of silence on YouTube, Johnny Somali is suddenly posting every single day again. 7 videos a week with titles like, first time in Korea and chaos begins. Why he would post that, I don't know. First time seeing
There's
a black
no
woman.
way this clown still has a YouTube channel. There is no way. No. There's no way. I don't even know. It's J-O-H? Oh, God. Oh, fuck me. Oh, come on. How? No. Bro. Oh, fuck's sake. Oh, that makes me sick to my stomach.
And a video that's definitely foreshadowing titled, I got approached by a Korean intelligence agent. So, and I mean, at the rate he's posting right now, there's no doubt there'll be way more stuff up in time for his next court date. And that also gives the prosecution plenty of time to go through all this and just keep adding charges. Because as of now, they've been adding new charges before every single court date.
How did he get
and he just gave them way more ammo
How
for
the
it.
hell did this fool get clout? Was it TikTok? How did he get clout? I don't understand. He wasn't on YouTube. He hasn't been banned yet.
And obviously, since it's Johnny, we know the content is not just filler content of him eating. No, this is just him filming himself committing
Doing
crimes.
dumb
He is
stuff.
literally snitching on himself. So not only did this guy live stream all of this months ago and get in trouble for it, but now he's redistributing it just a little bit over a month before his next trial date. Dude, what are you doing? Essentially, the dude is just uploading his own court case highlight reel. But again, Johnny is banned from streaming, so there aren't any new streams. He's re-uploading things that he's already done, stuff that's actively getting brought up in court, like this.
Why would you continue to upload stuff? Come on, guy.
Let me tap my money. Oh,
Is this new?
don't you see walking up to you like you know this walking up to you? Just leave, bro. Before this. God damn, we got president. It's okay. Bye bye. You can't fight that. We just got kicked off the bus, bro.
And after checking, his channel is monetized, so he's essentially trading a harsher sentence for a couple of dollars of YouTube ad revenue because all he—
How much money? Hold on. I should have just left this channel up. I should have just left this channel up, god damn it. No. Stop. Bro, he's barely getting any actual money off of this. He's making like as much money as I am. It's gonna take me like 3 months to get $100. I'm at like 40-something now. People need to watch my content, man. I just gotta like it, repost it, and sub. How? Yeah, no, like this, they're like 2,000, especially on this style of content. He's probably barely making like $3-4 bucks. 1,000 views on a video, it's not that much. It's really not.
What he's doing here is feeding prosecutors fresh material to just throw onto the pile that's already massive of charges. Then on top of that, it could easily be argued in court that he doesn't feel sorry for his actions since he's literally sitting here reposting all of his worst decisions in a highlight reel. And the trial's been going on for the better part of the year with updates coming out almost monthly. So a refresher, Johnny Somali is a disrespectful IRL streamer who made a career out of harassing strangers. In Japan, it got him chased down by locals and forced out of the country. In South Korea, it escalated to 8 criminal charges. 4 of those are business obstruction charges, 2 misdemeanors, and the 2 big ones are deepfake distribution charges.
And not to mention, he also threatened a judge. I
showed how his most recent trial date went, and he admitted guilt to 6 charges, including 4 obstruction counts, but also refused to plead.
So he's facing, I think, an upwards of 5 or 6 years. At max, it'll be 12. Unfortunately, it's not the long sentence that we all strive for, but you know, I'll take 5 or 6 years. I really feel like 12 would be better, but I doubt we'll get that.
Guilty on the deepfake charges, but the judge would be too sympathetic after he literally said this to the judge and the judge's family anyway.
Judge, the prosecutor, y'all can suck my causing anxiety by carrying a fish. Tell the judge.
How stupid. How stupid can you be as a human being? I feel like this is every person that's advocating for Charlie Kirk's death right there. Look into his eyes.
You can suck my. I'll bring a fish to your mother's house.
But I digress.
That's
And at this
crazy.
point, experts I spoke to in Seoul were saying that they're expecting him to get anywhere from like 3 to 8 years. So with the way charges keep stacking, he can easily get the maximum of that. And his
Only
next court
8 is
date
the
set
max?
for October 29th,
Bro,
which
that's like
makes
nothing.
this YouTube spree so incredibly dumb, it's almost poetic. He's weeks away from trial, and instead of shutting up, he's uploading daily harassment tapes. The exact type of behavior that got him arrested, if he doesn't even have any.
But is he actively, I guess it matters, is he actively going out and doing this again?
Oh my God, that was crazy. That was crazy. You like, bro, he shoved me. Chat, he
that released Discord messages and chat logs. Even the people closest to him started leaking because they quickly realized sticking by him was not loyalty, it was just setting their own money on fire.
Oh, yeah.
That was around the time that Hank made comments about that he was cutting off Johnny, which, considering that Hank did show up to Johnny's last court appearance, I'm unsure how true that actually is.
It could have just been a cover, so that way he you know, they think that he's moved somewhere else. They quit harassing him, maybe.
Discord leads show that the people he once thought was loyal to him are now exposing him. So the
Yeah,
YouTube
'cause
videos basically confirm that he's definitely low on cash and he's definitely low on allies. So what could his next steps be? Well, there was that plan to escape into international waters, which is a fascinating plan to put it lightly. He talked about renting a boat or an inflatable raft and streaming himself sailing into international waters.
That's so
the idea
stupid.
being that once he hits open international waters, he's then untouchable. And let's be honest, that sounds way less of a plan and more like a setup for a Darwin Award. Because there's no way this dude makes it past the Korean coastline without being picked up again. And even if he did, where is he going? Like from Busan, where he was planning on sailing out from, you have Japan, which he's banned from, and North Korea. I don't think it's really advised to go there. So it's safe to say both of those are terrible ideas for very different reasons. But some people...
Please send him to North Korea. Please do it. I want a stream of him walking across the North Korean line. Please do it. I will stream that stream.
Are joking, saying he would be a celebrity in North Korea due to all of his South Korea hate, but also, let's be real here, that's not really happening, and the
You gotta
internet
be
is
some
just so
kinda
limited
stupid.
in North Korea.
You
I
gotta
doubt
be some kind of stupid to think that.
any of those people even know him. Because let's be real, the few people with internet there are probably busy scamming or hacking people in South Korea.
Freedom of speech does not protect you praising North Korean regime or Kim Jong-un, the North
And
Korean.
it doesn't protect you when you're in a different country, guy. That's like if you went to someone else's house and you decided to like eat all their food. Like, come on, man.
Leader, North Korea, Kim Jong-un, yeah, you will go to prison for that. Yeah, that's a very strict law in Korea, and we still have that law, active law.
This is all against South Korea's national security law, a decade-old law that makes praising North Korea or its leaders a criminal offense. So maybe Johnny's endgame is actually to get to North Korea, which obviously is crazy. But I mean, hey, at least I'm the judge. Dude, do you want to be free or not? I've broken this down in the past before, but it's only...
It's so stupid. He's really... I mean, I guess he's trying to make money, but why would you repost old... Like... Why wouldn't you use like video from Japan or something? Like, why would you use more Korean stuff? Like, it's so stupid, man. It's so stupid. I just thought that maybe we could do for an update on Somali, and well, the fact that he has a YouTube account. How did YouTube allow this guy to be monetized? They took Doc's like monetization away for like a couple months before they allowed him to reapply for it. How? Like, YouTube has to be so lax. So this
Across
is interesting.
America, but I had no idea he'd have such an
Apparently he was big in Britain as well.
impact in the UK, all the way down to marches in Australia.
Okay, I gotta Google this. I have to Google this because it's gonna bug me if I don't. Is the UK Britain? No, the United Kingdom is... What is the British flag? What is the British flag? That is the British flag! I'm not stupid! What the hell? Yo, that's the British flag! What is the UK's flag? It's the same goddamn flag. What? Huh? Yo. That's weird. Cloak. That's trippy.
I had no idea he'd have such an impact in the UK, all the way down.
Anytime I see that flag, that I don't even know what that flag's called. When I see that flag, I automatically think of Austin Powers and
down to marches in Australia and back up to movements in South Korea, where ironically this reminds me of those recent riots in France 4 days ago where the far left burned a Korean restaurant in protest of French leadership, as these concurrent protests just highlight the key differences between the left.
I don't care what side's doing it. Violence is bad. Advocating for violence is a no-no, and it is not freedom of speech. I love how whenever you call that out and then you copy and paste the First Amendment, and then you emphasize, you put in parentheses, 7 parentheses, and somehow it goes from that argument to some other stupid argument. Violence bad. It against law. No good. Violence bad. Peace good. How? Jesus.
And the right. As reportedly, this TikTok was about Charlie.
The best part of this whole damn thing is that he is not martyr material. So,
oh, what's it like being wrong?
his death will mean nothing.
Oh, child, sweet summer child, how wrong you are.
It will activate no one.
It activated people in the US and apparently overseas too. Dumbass. Don't you just love it?
Impact few.
What is wrong with these people? Seriously. I love how giddy she looks.
Just great.
She's so
Completely
happy.
oblivious to the vigils hitting college campuses, with huge crowds even in New York City, as NASCAR races paid their respects, but also MLB games as the New York Yankees had a moment of silence alongside the NFL, also honoring his life. But then we started seeing Spain paying their respects.
Spain?
Churches all the way in Australia holding up signs for Charlie. With South
Damn, they even know. How is it that a foreign country knows our freedom of speech laws better than Americans advocating for this man to die? Come on!
Respects.
What's wrong with you people? Look what he said on the sign. Free speech. What the hell?
Signs for Charlie with South Korea.
Bro, we're only a minute into this.
We are Charlie Kirk. Where we all knew the assassination of Charlie Kirk was going to ignite American conservatives and moderates, but nobody could have imagined.
Oh, the name of the flag? I don't know.
Become the face of freedom for the entire planet. As at the UK's Unite the Kingdom march, which was reported as 110,000 people,
Union Jack.
It was more likely millions.
Oh, the Union flag is what it's called.
Revolution. There's been a globalist revolution for 20 years. We are the counter-revolution. It's not going anywhere, mate.
Carrying posters of not only Charlie Kirk, but his entire family, as they all rallied behind his memory.
Jesus.
Charlie's family, we all pray for you.
Bro, it is like Michael Jackson all over again. Good Lord.
And we hope we honor his life.
Damn, look at all that. Holy crap. Jesus.
So, of course, the left tried to make this about the spooky far-right.
What you're seeing here is probably the biggest far-right demonstration ever held in Britain. And I've been...
When can you... Let me ask you something. When are you going to put down your shield and sword? Or your... actually, you know what? Better yet. I'm going to use an Asmongold reference in light of his not being around. So these people are walking around with these things called crosses. and they want somebody to stake them to it, because that's what they want. They want this. Why they want it, I don't know. When are you going to put your cross down and realize that you don't have to get staked to a cross? You don't have to be insane to realize when somebody's rights have been violated. You don't have to be left or right. You don't have to be either side. I'm neither side. Legal mindset is neither side. But whenever I see a person's rights get violated, I'm going to say it how it is. I'm going to say a lot of people that voted for Democrats are probably going to vote Republican now. Because they see all the turmoil that's going on in LA, they see all the turmoil that's going on in Chicago and DC, and they don't want any part of that. You don't have to be left or right to see when something is wrong with the people that are involved with it.
This crime, and I think it's obvious that many of the people here wearing our flag.
You're advocating for death. Obviously, there's a problem when you want somebody to get, that's not okay. You can't just want that. There is something wrong with you.
As a badge of their own white identity and as a mark of hatred of our multicultural, multinational society.
But who knew the UK's far right was so diverse?
Oh, wait a minute. We got a chitty chatter. Hold on. We got a chitty chatter. That's the reason why the Pledge of Allegations says for the Republic for which we stand. And I'm not Democrat or Republican. Amen, brother. We are one of a kind, it feels like. Jesus. I don't believe it in far left or far right. I believe in what's right and wrong. And that's why I haven't voted ever, because I don't like what both sides, because there's always a downside to what either one of these two clowns is trying to promote, and I'm not a big fan of it. And I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. It is stupid for people to be forced to. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why you feel so compelled to be, you're either a Democrat or a Republican, but if you're if you can't tell the difference between right and wrong, brother, you're jacked at a fundamentally bad level. You had some pretty, something's wrong here. It don't matter what side you are, bro. If you can't tell what's right and wrong, the basic fundamentals of life itself, you got something else going on, and ain't no amount of death and violence that you're advocating for going to solve that.
This is for you. We love you. We stand with you. We will always have your back.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. There's so many people. You just have to. You kind of hit the nail on the head. Morals. Just have some goddamn morals. Jesus Christ, why is this so complicated for people? I can't tell you how many comments I've removed and reported over the past week. It's just so. Bro.
Your husband, Charlie.
I have to come and support the event. Uniting the whole country,
Bro, he's got a gap between his teeth you could land a plane through. I'm so sorry.
Together, bringing the 4 nations together. That's why I dress up and then come and support.
Bro, he's showing his spirit. Why can't we have Americans down here doing that instead of waving a foreign country's flags? What's going on with that? You see how much spirit this man is the flag. He's not representing it. He's not trying to wave it. Bro could be strung up on a flagpole and flap in the wind just like the flag if he had to. He has transformed into the flag.
I'll be integrated, so I have to respect the culture.
And notice how nobody was shouting down any of those very diverse conservatives, as they're all embracing Western culture and rejecting liberal tyranny. But nothing scares a political
Because that's what it is. It's tyranny, and it's oh my god, terrorism. That's what it is.
More than when the common man bands together against
and funny enough, there is word from a bird that flopped up on deck, you know, from the fish that came from the down under and flopped up on the deck, that there are bots from different countries that are cheering this on and trying to create more turmoil on this. That's why, like, before I remove some of these accounts, I always click on and view their channel. And so many of them have the same number of subs, and they have nothing on their pages. Nothing at all, which is fine. Sure, don't have anything on your page. But whenever I see the same number of subs and the names are so similar, and I'm like,
Ruling class, so they immediately went back to their same old tired playbook.
They're not celebrating the far right or far left movements, idiots. They're just trying to mourn for somebody's death. Since, like, come on. What is this? And look at all these weirdos.
Protesters that mysteriously get these signs left behind by these mysterious figures, who they later discovered are funded by none other than...
Oh, damn. There it is. Paid protesters, boys.
Their own tax dollars. Kinda interesting how the same exact thing was happening in the US until the Trump administration started tracing who was funding these riots, and they evaporated overnight.
That's right. He did say that. Trump did say that. He said that once we figure out who's... Because, like, somebody's paying for it. Who's paying for it? And then they stopped immediately, dude. Oh, like, overnight.
So, of course, to offset millions of angry Englishmen, masked Antifa and Black Bloc had to make an appearance, chanting disgusting phrases.
This is for all the people that want to be here on our side.
Where their coppers initially admitted the problem areas weren't with the Unite the Kingdom marchers, but the Antifa idiots, which the Met Police marched them right into each other, just so they could later state there was significant aggression directed at officers by the Unite the Kingdom protesters, but also turning off the replies, as the mainstream media rushed to echo those sentiments, stating far-right activists with clashes breaking out.
It's so easy. I don't think people understand that if I were to make a post about, let's say, you know, whatever their side is trying to advocate for, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do it as a Republican. I'll say I'll quote. I'll be like, I'm a Republican in this instance. Okay, cool. So, how can I put this that's not kind of crazy? Let's see. If I was a Democrat and I'm cheering on Charlie Kirk's death in a video that I had made, right? Let's just metaphorically, and I post that video, and I use YouTube's promotion system to promote it, right? And it gets 100,000 views and like 1,000 comments. I can go through those comments and I can remove and completely block their ability to view my channel one by one and make that comment section look like it's just a bunch of people that agree. That's where I'm kind of trying to go with that. So you can make a video look however you want. I don't really agree with not being transparent about it. I'll be transparent about it. Like, yeah, no, if you come onto my comments and you leave stupid stuff, if it's stupid enough, I'm going to report you and then block you and then remove your comment. But at the same time, you know, I'll always take criticism. I'm fine with that. I've taken it before and left a reasonable comment after. I'm like, oh, thanks for the thanks for the stuff. But if you get on and you're like, you're a dumbass, and I'm just going to remove you. Or if you get on and you're sitting here trying to justify this nonsense, you're out, bud.
Marching through the streets of London, one of
now, if you have a good counter argument, I'll leave it. Sure, I've done that too. But so far, it doesn't really seem like they exist.
Right-wing demonstrations to take place in the UK.
It just doesn't seem like they exist.
Organized by the far-right
it's always the same
activist Tommy Robinson. Close by, a much smaller counter-protest organized by anti-racism activists.
I'm just ready against racism.
So close at one point that right-wing marchers began throwing things at them and pushing police.
London's Metropolitan Police said a number of its officers were assaulted by the right-wing demonstrators, Dorica, and that 25 people were arrested.
It really seems like every single time they start to lose control, they revert back to the same exact plays. As in this enormous march across the UK, I didn't see a single
And it's all planned to do that. I guarantee you there is some person that has a lot of money that is planning these things to happen. Like, they will march the crowd right into the other crowd just to watch it blow up and cause a huge outcry, and then they have the media on the sidelines going back through and naming all of it. That's what they do. You know, they'll have it set up a type of way to do a type of thing, and then that's
into property damage compared to neighboring France that had their own riots 4 days earlier. As an
this is happening everywhere. If you think that for a second this is only an American problem, it's not. There's a lot of people, like a lot of people in different countries all over the world right now dealing with the same types of problems with these illegal immigrants, with these immigrants, with their government censoring everything, with like so much stuff. It's not just an American problem. It's everywhere, and it's happening a lot.
With the French, angry at their political leadership. But then, women carrying French flags were being attacked by those not. With the block everything protest.
And you know what's crazy? Is that every time I see somebody get attacked for waving something in opposition of like what was going on in LA, for example, they get attacked. But you notice that on the other side, the people that are getting attacked usually never attack back. They never are the ones that escalate it to the point of they're the first ones to hit.
Beginning to build barricades in the street, making makeshift roadblocks to stop traffic.
That is so stupid. They need to make that illegal. If you're sitting there blocking up the street, you are no longer peacefully protesting. If you're burning stuff on the street, you are rioting, brother. You are blocking public transport. You're no longer peacefully protesting. You're rioting. Go to jail. Go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go to jail. How's it going, Melody? It's been a while since you've stopped by. The normal stream is on the channel. I think you just have to go to the channel, but it's there. You don't have to watch it vertical if you don't want
to. As sadly...
Yeah, boys, anyone who's watching this, there is an actual, like, full view stream on YouTube. You can just go to YouTube. Like, just go to the channel. And while you're at it, sub and like everything that you see there. Watch all the videos. It helps.
Wasn't the only place they used fire on the freeways. As they
every day, I go live Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to noon. I'll cover whatever. I've got a Discord. Drop something you want me to react to in the Discord. Like, we do it all, bro. Like, yeah, just hit it up, man. Blow it up. Share everything, you know. Share it to your friends.
Specifically burned a Korean restaurant, later attacking the responding French police with trash cans.
Why?
But the mainstream media didn't seem to cover it like the United...
You know, I'll say that as well. Before Asman, like, you know, took off because of his dad, he did cover this. He was one of the first people to cover it because he listened to his audience and he started covering this, and then it just kind of took off from there because none of the big media companies wanted to take this on at all.
The Kingdom Rally, where they seem to make it more about pressure on the government and how it started online in far-right circles, but now happens to have left-wing groups. So when the left burns down entire sections of the city, they're protesters in Paris. But if the entire community marches against the establishment, that's the far-right clashing with the police. But they only classify you as far-right, so they can later call you a fascist. As they simultaneously encourage psychos online, they need to eliminate these evil fascists.
I just don't get how...
So as the calls for political violence have only amplified, people are now losing their jobs in neurology.
And that's what you get. That's what you get. If you think for 1 second you deserve to be a firefighter, an EMT, or a paramedic, a teacher, and you're going to sit here and cheer on an assassination on a public figure? Nah. You don't deserve to have a good paying job. You don't need a career.
universities. Microsoft is combing through their ranks to do the same, and even American Airlines is firing pilots who think it's okay to celebrate murder.
Really?
As we're seeing a turning point, not only
Why
in
would
the
India
US,
have a problem with the
Americans
US?
making it their mission to dish out consequences, but now conservatives worldwide are rallying behind Charlie, as the left didn't even think he'd be seen as a martyr, but now Charlie's known globally as the face of finally fighting back.
That's right.
So if you appreciate my concise.
Check out Decoy Voice. Awesome. Awesome video. Absolutely awesome. He always hits the nail on the head, dude. Was that it? What time is it? Damn, it's already 10:48. Are you kidding me? Jesus. Oh, you. So usually, if you're new here, because I was a firefighter. I fought fires. I've saved people's lives. I've done the whole shebang. I usually react to something that kind of like puts my expertise, which isn't insane, but it's decent, to some use. So I usually go over the a little bit of Midwest safety, a little bit of Army recruitment because it's paramilitary. We don't have a problem. It's Trump trying to. I don't think Trump is trying to assert dominance on. Where did you hear that from? I don't think Trump's trying to assert dominance on India. Where did you hear that information? Trump has been ending like a lot of wars. I think he's done like the second war. It was something to do with Israel, and man, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I don't even know. It was over there where Pakistan and them are. I'm sorry, I don't know those countries like that. I stayed out of that. I don't really get heavily into political stuff, simply because like it's a nightmare, and it has to do with a lot of stuff that doesn't involve me. But like for the most part, Trump's been trying to keep his nose in the American business. He literally financially supporting Pakistan. Huh? Dude, he literally metaphorically financially supporting Pakistan. So he's metaphorically financially supporting Pakistan? That's not. Yeah, but he's imposing double taxes on everybody. It's not just to India. He's doing that to everybody. And you should be thankful, because some of the other countries he's put like triple or quadruple. I mean, look at what he's doing to Russia right now. But like, you can't really blame him, because like we've been paying for generations now way more money than most of the countries. So like, I can't really blame him for like being like, yo, why are we the only ones paying for stuff? You know? On INND? Stated the. Well, yeah, we're not hiring people from anywhere because we're trying to build American lives up, man. Like, we have so many Americans that can't find jobs because none of the corporations here are wanting to hire people from America. They're too busy trying to like bring people over illegally. And to be quite frank, it's not Trump that's the problem. It's the fact that we've got so many illegal immigrants that have come over illegally, and all these corporations are hiring them at like pennies on the dollar. So that's the reason why they're not really taking anybody in right now, is because we're trying to get people out, and then they'll probably recenter and then start taking people back in again. You know, it's funny you say that, because I used to know a couple friends actually, that always tried to get in the IT section of a lot of companies, and it was always a nightmare to get in. Like, I knew a bunch of people that tried to and never actually got into the IT section of companies. Like, I wouldn't take it personally. It's more of a, much like a lot of other countries, the U.S. has a huge problem right now, and we've got to sort through the, knocked over filing cabinet before we can start refiling stuff, Because, like, that's kind of where we're at, is we got to get all this stuff out of turmoil first, get it back on track, and then we can go back to doing what we were doing, of, like, bringing in other people. And that is true. Nigel does bring up a good point. Any tariffs come back to the U.S. As the consumers. So, like, whatever y'all are paying, we also have to pay. It comes back to us, because whenever you guys have to pay double taxes on stuff, it's going to come back to haunt. What was that? That was weird. What the fuck was that? Hello? Am I still here? Are we still live? Oh, Lord have mercy. What is going on? Are we still live? I think that we had the lights just flickered, I guess. I'm not sure what happened. I hope that I am still live. Come on, piece of junk. Bro, I hate this TV so much. HDMI 1, come on. Oh, Jesus. Hold on. Are we still live? That is the question. Live. That is the question. I guess we're still live. The lights flickered. I don't know what that was about. That was really weird. It didn't seem to shut everything or anything off, I hope. Oh, my chats got closed. What in the hell is going on? That's weird. Still live? Okay, that was weird. I don't know what happened. All of my monitors just turned off. That was very weird and very concerning. I have no idea what caused that. I thought it was the lights flickering, but I can see the bathroom light and it didn't. Well, that was certainly something. That was weird. We should be good. But yeah, whatever the other countries are paying, whenever they produce the product and we get the product, we have to pay more as well. So, because it costs more to produce the product. And trust me, we're already penny pinching over here. So, I wouldn't take it to heart. It's just we're trying to fix an already incredibly destabilized nation. It's incredibly destabilized over here. And it's like that for a lot of people around the world. So, but Lanny, hello, and I'm live. Thank you for letting me know that I'm live. The second channel today, I saw that. Really? So this happened to somebody else? They're listening, boys. They're listening. I'm gonna use the bathroom. Hopefully this doesn't happen again, because that was incredibly inconvenient. And then we might have to save the recruitment video tomorrow at the end of the stream, but we're gonna hit this one up. We're gonna hit this one officer Apparently, this has to do with the shooting that happened, and apparently an officer lost his life. Let me use the bathroom. Arnold Palmer, man. Alright. Okay, let's get to it. I know, right? It's all of it. That's what I'm saying, dude. They listening. Phone lines. They're always watching. Alright, let's get it.
2025, Bloomfield officer Daniel Weaver, new to the department with 2 months of service.
Oh,
but
check
over
out
4
Midwest
years.
Safety. They haven't struck my channel, which I'm very happy about. Thank you so much for not striking my channel. I was a firefighter. Please don't strike the channel. I actually give a little bit of knowledge based on what I'm seeing here. Please. But they normally upload for educational purposes. And then I take that and then make fun of the stupid Karens that are idiots and get arrested for dumb reasons. And, you know, acknowledge the firefighters that are on scene and talk about experiences that I've had as a firefighter. So, like, you guys kind of get, like, a double-sided thing from me.
Prior experience, stopped a vehicle at a gas station after scanning the license plate and finding it was suspended for insurance issues.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry. That's okay. Do you have your license?
You can have a license plate suspended because you don't have insurance? That sucks. Forza. I'll react to that tomorrow. I'll put it on tomorrow's thing. I see that you posted another video for Forza. I got you, though. I got you tomorrow, though, for sure.
Registration proof. I had my license before I left the house. I don't know where. Okay. Do you have any kind of ID on you? No. No? You have a driver's license, though? Yes.
We have insurance on the vehicle. We're working on getting
Okay.
registration for it. We do have proof of insurance.
That's just a receipt, huh?
This shows the vehicle with the VIN number. And if you look it up, it should be there.
Can I get your ID as well? You don't have your seatbelt on, boss.
I just took it off.
He just unbuckled it. Could I see your ID? I didn't see you unbuckle, so. Hang tight for just a second, guys. We'll be right back with you, okay?
As Officer Weaver runs their information, Officer Timothy Ontiveros patrols nearby. Ontiveros has 6 months with Bloomfield Police and a year and a half of total experience. During Ontiveros' patrol, a civilian driver with dash and cab cameras voices his opinions of police, seemingly to himself.
I was doing 35 miles an hour, and this officer was following me. Why do you think he was following me? Because he's a perv who thinks he's allowed to get in my pants. You think you better...
What? Hold on. I have to, like, put the cells together to coordinate that into a sentence. This man driving thinks that the cop is following him because he's a perv that is trying to get into his pants. What? See, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about right here. Is like people that go out and make dumb posts online. There's no way that they don't have this kind of mindset. This like so random, offset, like crazy thought. Like it's just mind-blowing mindset that just makes you like look at a comment and be like, what?
Fear for your life? He's an armed thug, isn't he? Well, I happen to believe that. Well, I happen to believe that.
That's not an editing error. The civilian repeats the sentence as if recording a second take. Officer Ontiveros, unaware of the civilian's
so
comment,
weird.
sees their passenger headlight out, prompting a traffic stop.
Oh no.
3113, 1054.
And we will do it again.
Meanwhile, Officer Weaver makes a discovery about his own pulled-over driver.
27 shows a provisional only surrender expires.
Bro, the way this is edited out is phenomenal, by the way.
With only a surrendered license in the system, Officer Weaver can only assume the driver is unlicensed, as Weaver presumably writes these...
either way, from what I understand, I don't think she'd be allowed to drive with that truck, right? There's no way. It doesn't have insurance and the license plate is donezo.
citations. Officer Ontiveros approaches his own stopped civilian.
Hello, Officer Ontiveros, Bluefield Police.
Yes, sir.
You might roll down your window so I can talk to you?
I can hear you just fine, thank you.
Okay. So, the reason why I pulled you over is you ain't got a headlight.
I saw it burn out on the way in.
Okay, that's fine. So you're aware you don't have a headlight?
Well, what I'm aware of is that it burned out.
You got your driver's license, registration, insurance. You want to go to court, or do you want to pay a fine?
Stupid paper.
So you don't want to roll down your window so I can hear you better? Go ahead and pass it out.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Thank you.
Okay, so this is how it's going to work. That is a criminal offense. You have to provide your ID. If not, you're now concealing ID. We're going to take you to jail. Your choice.
What do you expect him to do with you putting it up against the windshield? Do you think he's just going to write all that information down and take it to his car? No, man, give him the ID. What are you doing? What the heck are you doing?
New Mexico state law.
Okay.
The license must be provided and exhibited. It does not say I have to hand you.
Okay, that's fine.
There it is.
That's fine.
You could have just cracked the window by like an inch, dude. The thing is, it's a little bit thicker than like 2 or 3 pieces of paper. Like, come on. Seriously?
129, are you able to break? 10-4, he's going to be at Broadway, Android.
Just hang tight.
Hey, you guys are good to go. You don't have a license, okay? So swap with him if he's good to drive, okay? Your license is surrendered, so...
Luckily for these civilians, they are released without...
Oh, dude, they just got off easy. Oh my god, they could have towed that car. They just got so lucky.
Due to Officer Ontiveros calling for backup.
So you don't want to hand me your ID. I'm going to ask you one more time.
The law says it must be provided and exhibited. It does not say I have to hand you anything.
I pulled a vehicle over for no headlight.
This mentality, man. Maybe you should trust the person that actually went to school to learn law instead of just reading it online, you know? Just because you read something online doesn't mean you understand it. Like if you read a contract that's provided by a lawyer and you don't have a lawyer present to read that legal jargon to you, you're not going to understand what the hell that contract is saying.
And he's not wanting to give me his ID.
New Mexico state law says you don't have to.
It says provided and exhibited, and nowhere in all 4 pages of it.
Correct. So you're 10-4 for now, or do we need 10-18?
10-4 for now. I'll just sit with him until I can get an ID.
I can write him a citation.
Right there. That's the law.
29, let me know if you'll meet me over there.
Just like I said, headlight is a criminal offense. This is the reason why I pulled you over. If you read your state statute, it says you have to provide identification when a crime is being committed or has been committed.
A burned out headlight is an ordinance violation.
That's fine.
Not a crime.
A headlight is a state. It's city, state, it's everywhere.
State law still says provided and exhibited.
You see, you can't argue with somebody like this. You can't. That's the reason why, like, whenever I get these comments online, I'm like, nope, we're just gonna ban you. You can't argue with them because you're always gonna be in the wrong, I guess, in their head. There's not gonna be anything that you're gonna say or do that's gonna make them come to reason or have a logical sense of anything. Just walk back to your car and wait for the other deputy. Honestly, straight up, just wait for him to arrive.
I'm not concealing anything. It's right there in front of you.
I asked for your information.
And I am providing it and exhibiting it exactly as the law says.
That is perfectly fine.
Good.
So you know what happens, right? If you don't provide your information, you have to go
right there in front of you.
Go to a judge immediately, correct?
That's not true either.
That is, okay.
I am within the law on this provided and exhibited, and you know it.
Okay.
You're just trying to get around it, and I'm not going to play your game.
I just want to make sure you're aware of all of this.
What I'm aware of is that you're trying to be a tyrannical, egomaniacal badge thug, and I'm not going to let you get away with it. I'm holding you to the law. You don't like the letter of the law? That's your problem.
That's perfectly fine.
We'll see about that.
Officer Ontiveros in the
That's like trying to have an argument online with some of these idiots, and then they lose their job, and then you're just like, oh, did you baby want a bottle?
Subject waits silently as Officer
I'm going
Weaver
to hell,
arrives
but you know
before
what?
speaking to
I'm
the
gonna have a
civilian.
big old
Weaver
smile.
places stop sticks under their truck in case he attempts to flee.
Passenger headlight.
So maybe we'll react tomorrow to people losing their jobs and then getting onto social media and crying about it. I've seen a couple videos pop up, but I've been kind of hesitant on clicking on them because I don't really know them like that, and I don't want them to strike the channel. So, like, we'll see. Maybe we will.
Roll your window down. It's down enough, thank you. Roll your window all the way down. It is down enough. Hey, sir. Thank you.
Bro.
You can bluster and fume till your eyes burst out of your head.
He's
And
already
I'm
got
not
the
breaking
strips.
law by doing
What he threw under the car was the spike strips of the truck.
And you do know it.
Okay, I'm Officer Weaver, okay? What's your name?
I'm providing it right there.
You need to provide it in my hand.
The law says provided and exhibited, and in all 5 pages of it, nowhere does it say I have to hand it to you or surrender it to you. And you are violating the law.
I'm gonna break your window out.
God, dude, this is so stupid. All this over a little traffic ticket. You're gonna really make the cops break your window in over a traffic ticket, brother. You took 2 cops out of service because you want to sit here and be stubborn because you read something online that you barely understand. And you're gonna make them break your window out for what? What does this accomplish? You're gonna go to jail.
I have done my job according to the law.
What does this solve? That's a window punch.
This is your last warning to roll the window down. Officer, I am within the law.
You're not. Hold on. You're not, because a crime is being committed, so you have to provide identification.
And I am providing
He's
it,
being
and
very reasonable too. He said it so many times.
I am exhibiting it according to state law.
So when an officer is provided, it's covered.
Officers point out that his license is physically covered with a sticker. Post-incident police reports indicate the sticker covered his name and address.
The name is
Oh, damn. So he had his name and address covered. That's kind of crazy. That's insane.
Name run routine that I'm all too familiar with you guys. Sir, you take the name, you run just the name.
Roll down the window right now.
You run just the name. Looking for another.
We're breaking this window.
Officer Weaver smashed the subject's window 6 minutes and 25 seconds after the first words of the stop were exchanged, and less than 2 minutes after he approached the vehicle himself.
Back up, dude.
His window punch isn't working. So we actually, whenever you go through the fire academy, we go through a class. They must have like the ones where you have to punch it. It's got like a little divot on the end. Some knives that you get from gas stations have it. But what the best ones that you can get are ones that come in like a little. It's got like a ceramic tip, and when you push it up against the window, it like pops. Because it's got like a little launcher. When you push it just up against the window, it pops it. Those are the best kind of window punches you can get.
29, give me a second, I'll be right down there.
Sergeant.
Yes, they some knives that you can get from a gas station have the window punch and a seatbelt cutter. That little blade that's like a little V at the very top of a knife or utility knife. That's a seatbelt cutter. You take that and you run it across the seatbelt to cut the seatbelt. Because apparently they don't seem to want to work whenever you're in you're in dire straits.
Michael Wells, who was assisting another
bastards
officer
never
with
want to
an
let you go.
unrelated DWI investigation, leaves to respond to the escalating situation with Weaver and Ontiveros.
You got a window breaker? Yeah. Let's pop it. Hold on, let's wait. Pop it, dude. Let's pop it.
The police rap and the clear sound of a firearm being pulled.
I don't...
is,
wait a
quote,
minute.
an unbuckled. The police report notes the sound captured on the subject's in-car camera is, quote, an unbuckling of a holster strap and the clear sound of a firearm being pulled.
I don't think so.
So, are you going to provide your information?
What are we doing?
He's really like trying to get this guy to just give them the ID. Like, that's all they need to get this over with. He's really trying.
Provided my information.
Hand me your driver's
I
license.
am not...
And it has a sticker over the license stuff, information. Like, come on.
I hand you a driver's license so you can do that name run routine in an attempt to set me up with somebody else's warrant. That is exactly what you do. They take the name. They run just the name.
Nope.
Then they look for any name like it that has a warrant that's even similar to the name. Data reader versus the state of Pennsylvania. That's what they proved.
Where do you pull all this information from? Were you actually a police officer? I can't stand these people that sit here and come up with this crazy amount of like detail in something and they don't know anything about it.
While no case was found under David Reeder versus Pennsylvania, his description of the case sounds like David Sosa versus Florida, where a man who shared names with a wanted individual was repeatedly misidentified, arrested, and held in jail, despite informing officers. The court sided with the officers in that case.
They caught him on camera doing it. They ran just the name in an attempt to get away.
Damn.
I believe this is high-strength plexiglass because it's of a four-wheel drive vehicle. It probably will break eventually.
Jesus. Oh, they got another cop coming out.
I don't understand your problems. I'm the one within the law.
Because
if you want to break the law on me,
is he gonna bust the other window?
The criminal thug that you are.
So you're going to open it?
I am not going to open my window. I'm doing what the law says.
Or what the hell is this windows made out of? Jesus, there's no way. Man, them Dodges back then were built different. Damn.
You might want to get your sergeant out here. I am providing my information.
Are you guys on Jordan or on Broadway?
We're right at the intersection. My window breaker's not working, so maybe yours will. I'm sorry you're having such a problem here, officer, but that is the letter of the law, provided and exhibited. That's an ordinance violation, not a crime.
No, it is a crime. Your headlight is a crime. That's the reason why I'm trying to make contact.
There it goes. Oh, he just opened fire. Oh, Jesus. Oh, hello. Ooh, he stuck that gun right out the window and started firing. God.
The shooting begins just before Sergeant Wells arrives. Unaware, he sends this message over the radio while the shooting unfolds.
Oh my God, you hear the bullets just ringing.
Just 9 minutes and 13 seconds passed from Officer Ontiveros initiating the traffic stop to the first shots fired by the subject. We have opted to include some images of the first aid provided due to the educational value of treating a gunshot wound. However, we do not show close-up images of gunshot victims.
You know how you treat a gunshot wound? If it's in the leg, you tourniquet that motherfucker and you pack some dirt in that bitch till you get to the hospital. That's some official, unofficial, information for you. You grab whatever you can, whether it be a shirt, a bunch of freaking, something that's like, you preferably want something that's not absorbent. You want something to pack it. and then you wrap that bitch up to keep the bleeding. The sooner you stop that bleeding, the better off you're going to be as a person. I promise you. You stop that bleeding. Don't care what you got to do. It don't matter if the person falls asleep, if they get knocked out, you stop that damn bleeding. You worry about everything else later. You stop that bleeding.
Shots fired, shots fired.
You grab yourself, if you don't got a tourniquet, you grab your belt and you torque that bitch down on whatever limb is shot. If it's on like the torso area, you start stuffing. You start stuffing whatever you can in there. Stop the bleeding. You cover it up, hold pressure on it, do whatever you can to make it stop moving and clot. That's how you stop that bullet. Oh my god, dude. What the
3105, send us 55 1018. Sarge, you work on Ontiveros. I'm watching this guy.
Sergeant Wells started his first responder career as an EMT and has actively maintained his medical license for roughly 18 years, making him the ideal officer to aid Ontiveros.
Hot damn.
Don't fucking move!
Boys got the AR out, man. They're not fucking around anymore. They gonna take this bitch down.
Sarge, I got you. I'm covering you. I can see him.
Oh, he's got a shotgun. Holy crap. Oh, man, pull him out of there.
Damn, I got you, man. I got you.
At this point, multiple officers abandon their citations and other duties to rush to the scene.
Oh, I bet.
I am gonna have to let you go. We have a shooting coming out right now, so don't worry about your son. He's not in any trouble. You have a wonderful evening, okay?
Damn, yeah, they're all leaving.
41. Get an officer down at Bloomfield.
Damn, yo, that's just like whenever you get a down firefighter. Bro, like, that is a scary situation when you get a down fireman in a fire. Bro, that is... Because, like, whenever you get a down fireman, and especially in a burning building, you're going to have whatever rubble's on top of them, and you're going to have that extra 70 pounds of gear on them. You're not going to drag that person out by yourself. You're going to need, like, 5 people to pull him out. A lot of people, that's one of the reasons why I don't really believe in the firefighter carry anymore, because you're not going to pick that person up and throw them over your shoulder. It's not going to happen, Captain. You're going to fuck your own, you're going to mess your own SCBA pack up doing that, and you're just going to make the situation way worse because you're putting him up there and all that hot, heated gas. You're going to make it so much worse for everyone involved. It's going to suck having to throw him up over your shoulder. You're better off carrying him. You know, doing like the underarm carry or dragging method. You're better off doing that. But like, whenever you hear that pack go off, it's very slow, but it's very, you know the sound when you hear it. And you get that down fireman, that radio from command, which is usually whoever is in command of the situation. For most scenes, for most fire scenes, when you show up, I was the nozzleman. I'd go put out the fire. You'd always have your person behind you, if you had one. If not, it was your captain. And then you had the apparatus driver was always command. And so in some instances where it got real bad or like, you know, it was questionable, you had the fire chief. He would show up and he would take command. When you get a call that goes out for a down fireman, you get like 5 fire trucks at that point. They're all going to drop whatever they're doing, and they're coming to get your ass.
Just focus on there. You've got about 4 units in front of you.
If you move, you're going to be shot again. Do you
And what really sucks about this situation right here, what really, really sucks, is because this guy's not in handcuffs, they couldn't call the scene safe. So even if they did get EMT or paramedics out there, they would stage to go in, but they would have to get this guy in handcuffs to consider the scene safe. It's one of their protocols.
Stand me! Do not move!
Because, like, firemen and EMTs and paramedics, they're not cops. They're there to save lives. And, that came out wrong. It came out the way I guess it should, but at the same time it sounds wrong. But they're there to save whoever is in need. If that means that it's the guy that is in the truck that got shot, then that's whose life that they would be there to save.
I got you, man.
C105.
I've got an officer shot in the neck. If you'll
Oh, damn.
905. Damn, I got you, bro.
That's a bad one.
Well, driver appears 10-7. Not able to render aid right now at this point. Cam.
What really sucks about that is that he doesn't have any of the medical equipment he needs to properly do that. He doesn't have anything, no gauze, nothing. He has nothing to properly set that.
Cam.
I don't understand why we don't have more rules and regulations making officers EMTs. They don't have to be paramedics. Like, you could be a firefighter without being a paramedic. So now, a lot of requirements want you to be paramedics, and some jobs will make you be a paramedic if you get hired by them. But I feel like you should at least be an EMT to become a cop at this point, especially with how often shootings happen. I feel like you need to be an EMT to become a cop, personally. Instead of taking funding away, we should be adding more funding, personally. That's what I think.
Tim, stay with me, bro.
Prioritizing the shooting, this officer releases a DWI.
Because not every cop is a piece of crap.
Suspect.
Get out.
He actually lets this guy go?
I'm gonna hold on to your car key. Is everything okay?
No. Here's your keys, here's your phone, okay? Gotcha, thank you, sir. I put all your paperwork inside the car.
This guy was arrested for DUI. Or DUI, DWI? One of those, right? Driving while intoxicated. You gotta let go.
Hey, Tim.
I secured my driver's vehicle.
Tim, stay with me, bro. Hey, Sarge, we need to get him back as soon as they can, okay?
Medics and fire are coming to you, Sarge.
Oh, there's fire.
When you get here, I need you to secure my shotgun. It's on the ground next to me. Is he conscious? No, he's not conscious. He's agonal respirations. I got a bullet.
Oh, he's bad. He is in bad.
Here, left chest. I've got one right.
That's fire.
You're doing great, Mike. I'm 97.
Boss, is there any way you can move him away from the truck? Yeah, just a minute, Weaver. I got.
Yeah, you hear him saying that?
Boss,
they gotta move him
away from the truck. Yeah, just a minute, Weaver. I'm holding pressure on his neck, bro. Okay, I got you. That's me, don't worry. Ready? Please, grab his belt. We need to drag out. He's go.
Go. Yo, by the way, their response to this was phenomenal. Like, they called that guy down, and they say that you have like 3 minutes. Their response must have been at least a minute and a half. I would say at least a minute and a half.
I'll grab an arm. Got it. Okay. Right in the neck. Right in the middle of the neck. One on the side of the chest.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's start. Be able to pull.
Right there.
Are you good?
So what they probably would have done whenever they arrived, if he wasn't already gone, I'm sure he probably had some breathing. They should have probably rolled him over onto his side, so that way that blood wouldn't go down into his throat. If he had inhaled a lot of that blood, it could have made things a lot worse.
Are you good? You sweep yourself?
No, you got him?
Sweet, yeah.
Pretty bad.
So what, he just unloaded the clip and then called it a day?
He's breathing. He's got a pulse. It's beat. 1, 2, 3, go.
We're gonna need
traffic blocked off by Sunray, Andrea, and all those lights headed to the hospital.
Yeah, here comes more.
Walk around, okay, to make sure we don't have anything struck anywhere.
Okay, we're gonna get in front of the ambulance.
They're probably gonna have to get
Yeah, we're gonna help clear intersection.
investigators out there to figure out I mean, it's obvious what happened, but to make sure that nobody else got hurt in the crossfire.
Is he breathing? Yeah, he's breathing, bro. He's breathing. Hey, bro. In my truck.
Having get in the left lane now that the ambulance made room for you.
Okay. I'm gonna shut down your camera. I'm worried about him, dude. Too, bro. That casing was on his belt.
Okay, was it?
Yep, it was right above his belt.
That's crazy. So he even had a holstered weapon in his vehicle, and he never even announced that.
In the chest. Get a crime scene tape.
I'm okay. Neighbor's okay. Where else on the way to the ER?
Okay, hold on, slow down. Go back. You stay behind the ambulance.
Okay.
Okay, come on.
Let's go. I'll explain a little later, but...
So, did the suspect... What's going on with him? Did he live? Did they shoot him at all?
5 or 6 in the back window there.
I hate to say this, but I don't think he lives. Whenever you get a shot to the cervical cord back here, where all the nerve endings are to your body, because it went through his neck, there's a good chance that he probably died instantaneously. His body was still just reacting to the stimuli. Because when you sever these nerve endings back here, your body can't even breathe. Because all your nerve endings are right up here at the nape of the neck. And if you, like, sever that, it's pretty much game over right there. As sad as it sounds.
Seems made. His last name is Ontiveros.
Insane, bro. Just talk. Okay. Exciting night. It's the last time I invite you over to my house. How's Lynch doing?
Awesome.
Going on, Seth. I'd always take my home.
One of them's an academy and the other one.
I was like, hey, I gotta go. You're out of here, man. Have a good night. That's what I'm talking about. Mixing some questions here with Joe.
He's quasi-immature. I don't want to get him in trouble, but he is kind of sort of mental. He carries knives, sometimes wears the knives on himself. He has been arrested. I just hope it's not Dennis.
The next morning, Officer Ontiveros remained in the hospital while officials searched Dennis's vehicle, uncovering 18 knives, 10 axes, 3 hammers, a mace fashioned from 1-inch piping, a machete, and a coyote trap. Staff and even VA clinic workers, criminal trespass, resisting and attempted aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Jesus Christ, so this guy already had a history of this. Of course he did. I mean, usually they do, right?
In recent years, up to just a month before the incident, Dennis was charged for threatening retail, casino, medical staff, and even VA clinic work.
Bro. This guy had a history. Of course he fucking did. Why was he out in general? Like, why?
At the VA
Bro,
clinic.
we need to crack down on that. Like, seriously. We need to have stricter laws if you want to walk around and threaten people like that and, like, cause problems in public spaces. You need to go to jail for, like, at minimum 10 years. This is ridiculous.
He allegedly waited in line with an axe slung over
Oh,
his
you
shoulder.
want to take a man's freedom away because he went around and threatened people in his store and waved a weapon? Yeah, I do, actually. You know why? Because the police officer's dead now because of that.
Telling the clerk, "We do this my way or your way." He often called police himself.
What?
and even VA clinic workers. At the VA clinic, he allegedly waited in line with an axe slung over his shoulder, telling the clerk, "We do this my way or your way."
Bro, what a freaking psychopath. Oh my God. That's insane. They let this guy out in the general... Come on.
Called police himself, sharing he was armed and angry, keeping everyone safe, and that if he wasn't, a coroner would be needed. Victims also reported...
What? And they let this guy out? Are you kidding me?
He threatened to return with an AR-15 and shoot everyone. The police...
Hello? What? How is this guy allowed to be out and about?
Also notes a key detail about Dennis's vehicle. The headlight that prompted the stop was not just inoperable, the housing was physically broken. Investigators speculated Dennis may have tampered with it beforehand. Combined with his self-recordings and his clear disdain for the local department, the report suggests Dennis may have been seeking an incident that night. In a post-incident interview, Dennis's father said it was inevitable, adding he thought Dennis would shoot someone, but never expected it to be a police officer. About a week after, on June 1st, 2025,
and you know, that's what's really sad about all of this. You talk to any of their family members, it's always the same thing. They always say the same thing. Yeah, it was going to happen. They just didn't think that it was going to happen in the way that it happened. And it's like, why don't you say something to somebody?
Officer Timothy Ontiveros passed away. His
Damn,
organs were
he did lose his life. That sucks.
donated, saving 3 lives. Reports post-operation...
Damn, so he was an organ donor and he managed to save 3 lives because of that. That sucks. That absolutely sucks, man.
indicate the recipients are doing
well. We can't keep these freaks in prison where they belong.
The investigation surrounding Dylan Weaver's conduct in the case is led by the San Juan County Sheriff's Office via their officer-involved shooting task force.
It's the stance of the 11th Judicial District Attorney's Office that we're going to start reading Miranda on all these. Bear with me real quick. You have your attorney with you, but you have the right to remain silent. You still have the right to stop answering anytime. You understand me? Yes. Yeah. What type of training have you received in use of force or defensive actions?
Starting out in the academy, completed basic SWAT school, as well as an advanced tactical workshop, mandatory in-service training.
What type of
window? He still failed to comply. I heard the shot. From that point, I remember feeling in fear for my life and in fear for Ontiveros' life.
Since you've been a cop, you've had to draw your firearm, present it to people.
Yes.
And they've become compliant at that point.
And at that point.
How did it make you feel personally to use the force you used?
I didn't have a feeling when using that.
What information did you know about
it? Was out of necessity. That's how you should always feel whenever you have to pull a firearm on somebody. It was out of necessity. When you pull a firearm, you should be like, I'm gonna die. I need this weapon. Going around and waving your gun around at somebody for no reason.
The suspect prior to this action?
Nothing.
As far as you know, you've never dealt with this individual?
It's that old saying, don't ever point the end of that gun at anything you don't intend to kill.
As of posting this video, the case remains under investigation.
That sucks. Oh, man. Bro, that heats me up, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Alright. I'm rolling out of here, boys. I will be back on tomorrow bright and early, same time. It will be actually on time tomorrow, hopefully. Be back on tomorrow morning, bright and early. See you guys there. I'll have a bunch of this stream cut up and uploaded to YouTube if you guys want to revisit any of the topics, so they'll all be there. All the goodies. I think Saturday and Sunday are the only 2 days where I have new topics, like 2 new topics. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but this past weekend I was like, dude, I'm tired. I need a little bit of a break, so I did 2 videos with two of the same topics. But you know what I'm going at. I'm out of here. I gotta spend the rest of my day until like 5 or 6 editing out all these videos. But I'm out of here. I'll be back on tomorrow bright and early, boys. I'll see you then. Stay safe out there. Stay friendly. Smile to a stranger. Who knows? It might change their entire day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bright and early. Where's the song? Where is the song? Oh, here it is. Whoosh. Out here. Peace! Oh,